The heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Well, you always feel good when Max Fried is on the mound for the Braves.
You talk about blowing the roof off this place right here. If you can get this third out.
This is what you let your aces do. You let them decide their own fate. Max way ahead, the pitch. Strike! Came out. Max Fried slams the door and says, no more. And there's a ball hammered down the line. Did he keep it fair at the pole? They hit the pole. There you go. Matt Olson breaks the tie with a line drive homer to right. Line drive into center field. Quinn coming on. Ball down. Roman up. Ronald around third. He's going to score. The Braves win it in the ninth. That will go down as one of the most unlikely ninth innings we've seen in a long time. The rains have stopped. The skies are clearing in Atlanta, where we'll have Braves baseball brought to you by Truist. We're starting on time with Game 3 of our 4-game series between the Braves and their eastern rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies. What a game last night. The Braves walked them off and split the series 6-5. Yeah, Matt Olson had a big home run. The Braves took advantage of a deleted Phillies bullpen, and Charlie Morton makes a milestone start tonight. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, great to be back with you. What a fun night last night. Aren't the Braves looking a little more like themselves? The way they came back, the way they took away a Bryce Harper walk-off home run, and all of a sudden this offense looking like itself too.
Starting to have a team approach, and we've talked about it. 25 hits in the last 2 games, 30 runs in the last 7 games, so you're starting to see guys heat up. And right here, William Contreras getting an opportunity, continues to hit. Marcell Ozuna, you see, hit straight in 11 straight. Ozzie Albies back in the leadoff spot with Ronald tonight, and Austin Riley, after struggling for a while, two hit games in a row for him. So this offense is starting to click, and what at a better time than when you have a schedule that you can take care of. They need him to keep doing it.
Another day, another lineup for Brian Snitker. Ronald Acuna Jr., a late scratch. A sore quad will keep him out of the game. Wet field as well. Ozzie Albies will lead off for Atlanta, hoping to support Charlie Morton, who makes a milestone start, as we said tonight. What is that milestone? Well, stick around. After the break, Kelly Kroll will fill you in. A chat with Charlie, who's got the ball for the Bravos against the Phillies in Game 3 tonight.
We're getting you set for Game 3 between the Braves and Phillies. Atlanta sending veteran righty Charlie Morton to the mound, making his 300th career start tonight. A full circle of sorts when you look at the babyface Morton in 2008, beginning his career here in Atlanta. The ups, the downs, the perseverance, establishing himself, reinventing himself. And now 300 starts. That was a milestone he could have never imagined 14 years ago.
So my rookie year, I was walking down the tunnel. I don't remember if I was pitching or not, but John Smoltz was walking down with me. And he said, do you think you can do this another 300 times? And I just remember thinking, like, there's no way. Because that's a lot. And I think it's like a little window into my mentality, too. But here we are, 2022.
Here we are, and here we go is right. Certainly Charlie Morton, only the 10th active pitcher to be making his 300th start here tonight. And of course, I had to get the other side of the story from Smoltzy this afternoon, and he goes, it has been incredible to watch the evolution of Charlie Morton from that baby-faced kid, almost the aw shucks kind of guy who needed the ones around him to basically let him know just how nasty his stuff really was, because it wasn't in his personality. And while he didn't remember that exact conversation, he said, I do remember telling the younger pitchers that first start, it's really the only game you get to have fun in. After that, it becomes a job. But those were the kind of conversations we used to have about the longevity of your career, pitching for 20 years. But he said, hearing that Charlie remembered that story, he goes, no one knows what someone passes gone until they're gone. He goes, Charlie's pitched through 2 decades, guys, and one of these days it'll be Kyle Wright or Max Fried, who when he's gone will recognize what his place was. And tonight, guys, it is right out there on the bump for career start number 300.
And seeking win number 4 this year, Kelly, and he's been terrific on the mound at Truist Park. He's undefeated so far for the Braves this year in 4 starts, and Rhys Hoskins greets him first. And we are underway. Boy, that's great news. We came to the ballpark today in a steady rain shower, and it's almost miraculous that this game's starting on time tonight.
Yeah, kind of just came and went, the storms, and we're ready to play baseball.
Gentle breeze blowing left to right. Comfortable evening for Morton and the Braves, and a blistering fastball right on by Rhys Hoskins, who's 2 for 9 at the plate so far in the series.
I think what's amazing too with Charlie's story is that, you know, it's not like he got a late start to his career. So a lot of those starts have been in the back end here for him to get to number 300.
What do they say about old dogs and new tricks?
Yeah.
Doesn't apply to Charlie Morton.
No.
First 150 games, 44 wins. His last 149 games, 66 victories. He has gotten better with age. And like last year, after his first 5 starts, he's a man reborn. He's been terrific in his last handful for the Braves. And he just struck out Rhys Hoskins on 4 pitches. Good start for Morton, 1 away.
Well, obviously after that first pitch, or that pitch, you can see Hoskins, whether he was looking curveball or something off speed, ball's right down the middle.
Joe Girardi's Phillies enter play at 20 and 23. His Toyota starting lineup looks the same except at the bottom. We'll get our first look at Odubel Herrera this year. And Bryson Stott, a former #1 pick by the Phillies back in 2019, will make his debut against Atlanta here in Game 3. Alec Bohm, the batter. 1 ball, no strikes for the Phillies third baseman, riding a 4-game hitting streak tonight. He's 3 for 8 in this series. Morton working quickly, and there's the breaking ball. Nasty. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, cutter for Charlie on that pitch. Remember, he told us last year, I'll mix in a cutter and change up every once in a while just to keep guys off my other 2 pitches.
Well, if it's a cutter, it broke more than the standard 1 or 2 inches.
Yeah.
That thing exploded. Away from Alec Bohm, who's up with the bases empty. Shane Livensbarger, the home plate ump, should have a treat tonight with Ranger Suarez and Charlie Morton. The pitch. At the belt to strike. It's 1-2. Now, I found Kelly's report so interesting that Charlie told the story about John Smoltz. Do you think he can start 300 games in the major leagues? That is a remarkable accomplishment. This one is whacked past Ozzie on a 2-strike count, and Bohm's aboard. That extends his hitting streak to 5 games, a 1-out single. John Smoltz made 481 major league starts. Very impressive number. But Jeff, he also relieved 242 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, spent about 4 years there as a closer. Dominant one at that.
So here's Bryce Harper, a man aboard with 1 out.
A man who also last night thought he was going to be the hero of the game till the Braves struck back in the bottom of the 9th.
And for the Phillies, though, it's kind of the same story. They've had 2 or 3 games get away in the 9th inning this year, including last night. And in defense of Joe Girardi, a very short bullpen, he said. I'll explain after the first pitch to Harper. We'll explain it now. Corey Knebel was unavailable. Joe Girardi does not want to use his relievers 3 days in a row early in the season. Alvarado has been sporadic. Dominguez has pitched a lot. There were not many options for the Phillies in the game, and the Braves took advantage. As that's fouled away, no balls and a strike.
I think you're just seeing, though, again, and that's where it's so tough as a manager. Like I said, if it works out, then, you know, you look great.
Right.
But I think the one guy I might have thrown out there was just Alvarado from a standpoint of he has experience. 98, 99. He's got strikeout stuff. You know, you could really tell those Braves hitters after seeing Nelson throw that 8th inning, they had a whole different approach on him.
But Joe said with 5 right-hand hitters coming up in the 9th for the Braves, he felt that Alvarado wasn't the best matchup, and as it turns out, we'll never know. The Braves took advantage, on the walk-off hit from William Contreras, his first career walk-off, with his mom and dad in attendance at the ballpark last night. Nice story. And William behind the plate here in game 3. 2 quick strikes for Bryce Harper. Short lead at first for Bohm. And the pitch is taken high. 1-2. Last year, Bryce Harper had 3 RBIs against the Braves all year on 3 home runs. He's picked up 4 RBIs in this first series and has been scorching hot over the last couple of weeks, despite an elbow with a ligament tear that's keeping him as the DH. And that's stroked into right center field. Demerit had him played that way. Look at that ball hydroplane off the grass. Good play. Throw to second, and Harper is going to be way out. Harper got a little greedy. Excellent play by Travis Demerit. Shaded over toward the right center field gap. Played it perfectly, through a strike, and Harper is the second out. Bohm to third here in the first.
Well, that's a huge break there. There's a difference between hustle and then running into an out, Chip. This was running into an out. And he didn't run necessarily the whole way out of the box thinking for 2. Look at this ball forever. Yeah, that's a 3-hopper in there, and he's out by 15 feet. Good break for Charlie. Now you can find a way to get out of this inning.
Good play by Demerit. Again, the outfield soaking wet. Wet baseball. Got enough on it to get it to Albies, and Harper out after a single. 9-4 for the second out, and Castellanos will hit with 2 men down. He has been slumping. Just 3 hits in his last 28 at bats with 9 strikeouts.
These first 2 games so far, the Braves have done outstanding mixing it up on him. Fastball, then off speed, moving in and out.
One ball, no strikes. Castellanos 1 for 3 in his career against Charlie Morton. 5 homers, 21 RBIs overall for the season. Charlie coming off a victory against the Marlins. 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings. He'd like to go deeper tonight if possible. And there's that mix you were talking about. Even count. Hoskins struck out. Bohm singled. Harper singled. Tried to advance to second. Was thrown out for the second out. So Bohm 90 feet away as the Braves shift. And it is over but low for Castellanos. 2 balls and a strike. Charlie's made 4 starts this month. He's pitched 22 innings. In the month of May. And another sweeping breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So efficiency and taking the ball deep, I would assume, would be on the list of accomplishments from Mr. Morton tonight.
Yeah.
The 2-2 pitch is wasted way high. It's a full count. The Giants helped the Braves out tonight. They clobbered the Mets 9-3. Jock Peterson's had a great 24 hours.
3 last night, 1 today.
So if the Braves can win, they could pick up a game on New York in the division.
I think for New York today, they had, if I remember right, a young pitcher making his debut. Went 1 1/3 and gave up 8 runs.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, right.
Charlie ready with his 19th pitch here in the first inning. And here it is. It's fouled away. Two hits, but no runs for the Phillies in the first. Braves defense helped Charlie out. Let's see if he can finish off Castellanos, their cleanup man. Here it is. Had the plate but was low. Called the ball. Contreras came out of his crouch thinking the inning was over. Instead, it's ball 4 and more pitches for Morton on a humid night.
It's a pretty good pitch. More than anything, you're surprised that he took it.
Not sure Castellanos wasn't sure that was strike 3. So a little overtime work for Morton in the first and third with Gene Segura. Third base runner for the Phillies is Castellanos at first. Segura with a 3-hit series so far. First chance for Segura with a runner in scoring position tonight. The Phillies are 5 for 22 with men in scoring position so far here in Atlanta.
Kind of a tight zone tonight.
One-0 pitch. That one grazed the outside corner. And now an even count. Braves and Phillies both 20 and 23 on the year. The Braves trying to get back to 500 here at home. Another close call.
Not much difference between that one and the pitch before.
That's a big part of Charlie's game. He talked about that his first 4 or 5 starts wasn't getting chases and isn't getting the corners quite yet. 2 balls and a strike. So he's a pitch away here with Segura in the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I saw a little anger on that fastball from Charlie. 97.
Well, if it's a tight zone for him, you hope it's just as tight for Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, right?
And hopefully we'll find that out after this pitch. Here it is. So a full count coming. Kyle Schwarber waits on deck. 25 Morton pitches. More than he would like. Runner at first will go. The pitch is popped up into shallow center. Can of corn for Adam Duvall, and he's got it. And that will retire the side. Aggressive base running for Bryce Harper helps out Charlie Morton. Now the Braves go to work in a scoreless first. Some traffic for Charlie Morton in the first inning, but no scores. The Braves come up for the first time. As we mentioned, Ronald Acuna Jr. feeling some quad tightness, so not in the Toyota lineup tonight. That means 3 of your top hitters are your hottest hitters. Albies, Swanson, and Ozuna. 1, 2, 3 for the Braves. Riley fourth. Matt Olson a big homer last night, and they'll take aim at a left-hander, Jeff Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, he's got good numbers this year. His last 2 starts. Start before that was good. Only went 3 innings against the Dodgers last time out. Threw a bunch of pitches. One thing to look at: 7.88 ERA in the first inning.
7 of his 20 runs, 2 homers, and an opponent's .342 batting average. So get him early if you can. As Ozzie with a 7-game hitting streak will lead off. This would be a good time for Ozzie to hit a home run. It's been a while for him.
I see his career against left-handed pitching. Absolutely thrashed him.
Popped out toward right. Castellanos will back up, battles the wind a bit. There's out number 1. Jeff, what are your Ford keys?
Now, going along with Kelly's story on the Open, enjoy 300 for Charlie. Only 58 guys since 2000 have done it. Hopefully many more for him. And 1-2 punch at the top. Now with Ozzie back there moving Dansby up. Dansby's had a great approach lately. Two guys with good speed. Get them on and set up the rest of the middle of the lineup.
Dansby Swanson got the Braves' 9th inning rally started with a leadoff double, part of a 3-hit game. Dansby all of a sudden has hit safely in 7 in a row, the longest hitting streak for him since last August. 5 RBIs, 2 runs, 10 hits over those 7 games. So a logical man to hit second without Ronald hitting first tonight.
I'll go again now. The Phillies have almost totally eliminated the shift against Dansby. Segura's a good bit over there towards the bag, but nothing like what we've usually seen with Dansby up.
Uses the center part of the field and whacks that toward Herrera in center, and he recalibrates and makes the play. Hard hit ball. Bud quickly 2 outs and Marcell Ozuna is up.
That's all he can do. Hit it hard. That one was right at Herrera.
Ozuna sporting an 11-game hitting streak. 3 hits in this series. You mentioned, Jeff, the last week the Braves have scored 30 runs, averaging over 4 runs a game. With this pitching staff, that's going to be a really good number.
Oh, yeah.
If that continues. But it's the way they've been doing it. Remember, at the end of our homestand with San Diego here in the game in Milwaukee, Braves were striking out an awful lot. It looks like they've started to calm that down a bit.
Yeah, 25 hits so far and 25 Ks in this series. Previous 11 games, 116 Ks with only 82 hits. And that's taken into account too, facing Zach Wheeler the other night.
Yeah.
Who, look, you face him, you know you're going to rack up 8, 9, 10 Ks.
But even in that first inning, the approach for the Braves was terrific. Everything was the opposite way, well struck. And so the point is, they're putting the ball in play more consistently. And obviously, if you don't put the ball in play, you're not going to get any hits.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that was the line in the sand up in Milwaukee. As Ozuna ahead in the count here, the pitch splits the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You may not know much about this man, Ranger Suarez. 21 straight starts, allowing 3 earned runs or less. They put him in the rotation last August. He's got a 2.49 ERA since. He has been a godsend for the Phillies. Behind Wheeler and Nola, or in front of Wheeler and Nola, if you want to look at it that way.
I think for them it's just something to, you got Gibson, you got Wheeler, you got Nola. Just someone that brings a little different look from the left side.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Marcell. The pitch smoked into left field. It's a 12-gamer for Marcell, a 2-out single.
That's a pitch Suarez was trying to go away, and this ball came right back over the plate. And Marcell, even with him playing the shift, was able to hit it right between third and short.
So Austin Riley, it's 7th the last couple of games for the Braves. It has 4 hits. This time he pops the first one up right side. Hoskins drifts back. Segura joins him. And that will retire Atlanta in the first. No trouble tonight for Ranger Suarez in the first inning. We go to the second. No score. To the second in Atlanta. Glad you're with us here on Bally Sports. Charlie Morton back to work for the Bravos. He's our Georgia Natural Gas Impact player.
19 2/3 against Phillies, 26 strikeouts. His last 3 starts this season, 2-0 with a 2-2. After kind of getting off to that rough start for the first 3 or 4 games.
He'll start the second with Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, and Odubel Herrera. Only threw 26 pitches in the opening inning, and he's behind Schwarber to start the second. 2 balls, no strikes. Schwarber 1 for 5 at the plate in the series, but he's walked 4 times.
He walked 3 times the first night after getting behind 0-2-1-2.
In the air to center, right to Adam Duvall. Soft contact and out number 1. What are the challenges of playing outfield on a night like this? Again, I'm not sure we all thought we were going to start on time, but we did. Grounds crew here did a marvelous job of getting the field ready for play.
Well, besides them dumping all the water off the tarp to the outfielders, not that I'm bitter about it after all those years.
Right.
You know, I think it's more than anything, you just have to control yourself. And what I mean by that is you're going after a ball in the gap. You know, you plant, but you give yourself a little room to slide. You got to do everything just a little bit slower, a little bit more meticulous.
JT Realmuto, the hitter.
And another thing, too, and that's why Demerit, it was a nice little throw he had. You get that ball every time it's wet in the outfield.
And I'm guessing that's what Bryce Harper was thinking, right? It's just a guess. Make them catch it cleanly, throw it cleanly, and force the action. As this one's popped up toward Matt Olson in foul ground at first. 2 down.
Yeah, I think on that one, though, with Bryce, the key for him would have been, you know, he was running out of the box, but if you were going to go 2 like that, you got to be busting it out of the box right away. And I think he tried to, I think he had a great idea, but once he saw Travis cut that ball off first inning like that, you know, all of a sudden you got first and third and 1 out. It's a whole different scenario. But with that being said, you know, break for the Braves. And now here Charlie, 2 batters, 6 pitches, could use a quick inning.
And our first look at Odubel Herrera. He's been plagued by an oblique problem. Herrera didn't really have a spring training, and that might be part of the reason why the Phillies have gotten so little production out of him and Roman Quinn from an offensive standpoint. Herrera, a couple of homers, 8 RBIs, and a .243 mark. But they got some production here. That's a no doubt. Upper deck of the chop house. Solo home run for Herrera, and the Phillies strike with 2 outs in the second. That was almost the same spot Bryce Harper hit his last night.
Charlie tried to throw him a cutter at 85, and it was a spinner right down the middle.
So Herrera, in 10 career at bats against Morton, has now hit 2 homers, and the Phillies strike first on a solo home run. It's 1-0. This is Bryson Stott, our first look at him.
You know, if you think about it, with Odubel Herrera's swing, if you're going to throw that pitch, it's got to be back foot, because the way he swings it, he kind of steps in the bucket and wants that ball right there where it's at. A little bit down, a little bit in.
He's a Philly who's liked hitting in this ballpark. That's his 5th career homer at Truist Park in 26 games. So the old saying, solo homer shouldn't beat you. Stop the bleeding at 1, as Bryson Stott is in an 0-2 count. Number 1 pick for the Phillies back in 2019 out of UNLV. And getting a chance to play in Game 3 tonight. They're still without Didi Gregorius. Yohan Camargo has started the first 2 games for the Phillies. The former Brave has had a couple of hits. Now another 0-2. Just foul away. So a 2-out walk in the first inning piled up the pitches for Charlie. 26 in the first inning. He got 2 outs with 6 pitches here in the second. Now after the Herrera home run, Bryson Stott, the 9th place batter, is putting up a fight. But no more. Charlie strikes him out. He struck out Hoskins to start the game. He takes care of Stott to end the second. Phillies lead on a Herrera homer. It's 1-0.
Head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Phillies as Matt Olson comes up. Let's take a look last night. It's the fastball up. This is our Zaxby's indescribably good play. And hits it right off the pole to put the Braves up 3-2. And a big hit for Matt Olson last night. Something to get him going. Kelly had that great story last night about early work with sights, working on some mechanical things, and of course mentally too, and it paid off in a big way.
One ball, one strike. So now, Kelly, the question is, can Matt use that to propel himself to bigger and better things? What did he say after the home run last night?
I think he's certainly hoping so, but you could almost sense this relief sitting on the podium last night talking about that big moment and saying it's been almost a month since I've squared up a ball like that. So it felt really good. And of course, to come through in that moment for the team. I mean, you know, these guys just really want to be contributing, and Matt with such high expectations for himself. So in the short, the early work, right? Frenchie paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, not just from mechanical, but mental.
Took a shot at left. This one skied out towards Schwarber, who calls off the Phillies' young shortstop. And that is out number 1. Olson's retired. There's hit the ball in the air. 4 out of 5 hitters here in this early moment of game 3. And there's out number 1 for Contreras.
Well, only one lefty in the lineup tonight, and good news, because the one thing Suarez has done over the last 2 seasons, Chip, he's held lefties to a 127, 149 slug.
Well, look at the season splits this year, right? He's hitting almost 300 against him with all 5 of the home runs. And who better to tie this game than this man, William Contreras, who's done a marvelous job. Last 11 games, 6 homers, 10 RBIs, 10 runs, and his first major league walk-off hit with his parents in attendance at Truist Park. That's having yourself a nice Tuesday night.
Well, and what you were so happy too, he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts going in that last at bat. So a young hitter still staying confident at the plate.
Swing, fly ball, pretty well hit. Schwarber going back, ball carrying out toward that wall. It is gone.
I think Schwarber deked us all.
For Contreras, his 7th.
Well, 0-2, and he tries to come in. Doesn't make a horrible pitch, but Contreras gets those hands pulled in. It's one of those almost where Schwarber would have got all the way back to the wall instead of kind of drifting. I think he would have had a chance to make that play. That being said, 7th home run and tie ball game.
Adam Duvall, the batter, here in the Braves' second. One of the great things about Truist Park is there is space between the backside of the wall and the fans. They've got some greenery growing out there, which helps out the umpires on boundary calls. And Schwarber kept drifting back and back and back. The ball drifted behind his glove. We couldn't tell. And look, if you make a catch like that, you're coming up and showing the baseball right away,
that's
right?
Absolutely. Unless you're really good at deking somebody.
So another homer to a right-hand hitter from Ranger Suarez. The Braves tie it up as Adam Duvall is the batter. 2 balls and a strike. So many folks around town were asking me today, asking me last night late after the game, was last night's game the one that's going to get this team going? And by going, I mean offensively and looking and playing like themselves. What do you think?
Well, I'm hoping what last night did more than anything maybe has created that sense of urgency. you know, kind of got you fired up, let you play with a little bit more emotion. We have said though the last 6-7 weeks in the open tonight, 30 runs the last 7 games, you're starting to see the team swing the bats the way they're capable of.
And look, it's hard. It's hard to be patient in this game because look, the team that's in first place is the Mets. They're playing great. And our last memory was how well the Braves played offensively over the last 2 months. They played .667 baseball and then rolled through the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, you're not going to keep that sort of pace.
Right.
No one expected that. But I think, you know, more than anything is Milwaukee's got a great pitching staff. Don't get me wrong. But those strikeouts in Milwaukee that kind of piled up, I think as an offense, it grabbed their attention. And Seitz talked to me and you and Miami about swing and miss in the zone. They were #1. He said, we got too many good hitters. I think these guys have taken that.
And there's an example. Adam Duvall taking what Suarez gave him, didn't over swing, didn't try to expand his strike zone, takes the walk after the Contreras homer a moment ago.
Yeah, pass the baton on and going back here 0-2. Look at this pitch. It's in on almost white line. William pulls those hands in beautifully. And look how close that was. I mean,
had him play just a little too low at the left field wall. Here's Arcia. Orlando, one of the great moments for the Braves in the first 2 months, that walk-off home run against the Red Sox.
well, it's about the perfect time now. He hadn't played in what, 7, 8, 9 days?
Yeah, he's rested enough.
That's what I'm saying. He gets his 4 ABs tonight and gets 2-3 hits.
And he's the DH for Ronald tonight. Ronald was feeling some discomfort in the quad after the game last night. The Braves said, okay, rest up, get to the ballpark. Let's see how it feels today. Quad was still a problem for Ronald. It's not expected to be an injury list situation, but that and a wet field, play it safe and give Arcia 4 at-bats. Orlando takes a strike. It's 1-2. Herrera hits a homer. Contreras hits a homer. We're tied at 1, second inning.
And the one thing you got to do with Suarez is you're seeing 92, 93 on that fastball. You almost got to get ready for like 95 because he slings it out of his hand. So I think you'll see sometimes these balls that you see on the inner part 92, 93 look good to hit kind of sneak up on the hitter and they can't pull the trigger.
No pitch com for Ranger Suarez. Standard signals from Real Muto, and that's fouled at the plate. Arcia will try again. 2-2 the count. Make this guy work a little bit. He breezed through the first inning. He's up to 32 pitches. And only 1 out in the inning. Duvall a short lead. The pitch. Curveball whacked under the glove of Alec Bohm. That was hit right to him. Duvall's going to go from first to third. The throw is not in time, and on the trail, Arcia moves up.
That's my favorite thing right there. First to third, forced the play. I gave Arcia a double on that.
He'll take that. But Bohm couldn't knock it down.
Yeah.
And that's, again, for the Phillies, that's going to be the question. Can their defense bail them out this year?
Well, and I love Duvall going first, third. Like I said, force the issue. This is an aggressive base running team. Now all of a sudden you got a hitter in Demeritte who's struggling right now. He's had a couple days off. You got a chance right here for a ground ball up the middle, and you get an RBI. Do something positive.
Or a fly ball with any depth.
Sack, fly, anything.
Fouled away, strike 1. Demeritte's last hit May 14th. He picked up 2 hits that day. He's since gone 29 at bats without a base hit. But this spot right here, you make some contact, you pick up your 6th RBI, and you put your team in front. Let's see if Travis can do that. Merritt had a great game in the middle of this month. Reached base 5 times, 3 for 3, a couple of walks. It's in there. Let's see if he can find it now. Little roller hit toward Bohm at third. He fields and fires to first, and that's the second out. That's the only place you didn't want contact to, and sadly DeMeritt rolled over, and the order moves to Ozzie Albies, who popped out his first time up. 2 outs. So DeMeritt 0 for his last 30.
The last time Ozzie talked about that fastball getting ready for a Chip. Last time he was a little bit late on it. See if he can get ready here, get one in the zone and drive it.
Hammered and foul. Ozzie another hot Brave at the plate. Speaking of hot, he's our Texas Pete Who's Hot feature.
His Rays has averaged 26 points in the last 7 games. 340 average in the last 11. He's 332, as we showed earlier, career against left-handed pitching.
Must be a spot for Ozzie to improve his numbers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He has 5 RBIs in these situations. And got rung up. Chad Whitson says he offered 0-2.
Yep.
After the home run, a walk and a double. DeMeritt grounds out. Now Ozzie in a deep 2-strike hole in a tie game. The pitch. Suarez known for that real good sinker. The rest of his repertoire has been racky-tacked a lot this year. Just 1 ground ball out so far in the game. The pitch. And Ozzie banged that off his lower half.
And stay alive. That's one thing we know with Ozzie. He can foul off a lot of pitches to stay alive until that pitcher makes a mistake.
Here's the 29th pitch of the inning, and it's way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Open stance for Albies from the right side of the plate. He's got some room on the right side of the infield if he can poke one that way. Tried to, and another foul ball. Contreras with a solo home run with 1 out ties the game. Ozzie looking to break the deadlock here. He was on base 4 times last night. Ozzie looking more and more like himself. 3 singles, a couple of runs, and 7 runs in his last 7 games. And again with Ronald Acuna Jr. a late scratch with a tight quad. Ozzie gets the leadoff assignment tonight.
He's tried changeups away and he's laid off them good.
Braves doing a much better job against Suarez after the first inning. Remember, Kyle Gibson labored in the early innings for the Phillies. They're trying to do the same with Ranger Suarez here. So a full count pitch after Ozzie was behind 0-2. Line drive, right field. That's down for a hit. One run is in. Streaking around is Arcia. The throw to the plate is not in time. Ozzie in at second. What an at bat for Albies. Down 0-2. He comes through with a 2-run hit.
Well, how many times do we see a chip with Ozzie? I'm telling you, from this side of the plate, he can foul off pitches all day long. He gets a pitch in. Look at that. Inside out. Beautiful swing.
Approach.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great job. Got him 0-2. And then was able to work it all the way back. And not only that, beautiful job base running, getting a second. Now, Dansby's got a chance for a base hit and drive him out.
Well, nothing, and you've talked about this all year, nothing lifts an offense and nothing deflates an opponent more than a 2-out run scoring hit.
Yeah, since May 13th, the Braves 25 2-out runs, their opponents 11, and that's one thing they were so good at last year. 2-out RBIs, and you said it's demoralizing to another pitcher. He got him 0-2 thinking I'm one pitch away, and now all of a sudden it's a 3-1 ball game. He's still got his work cut out for him.
And you've got your co-leader in 2-out RBIs in the batter's box. Dansby Swanson and Austin Riley have 11 of them. See if Dansby can make it 12, and he might. Base hit right. Castellanos comes up. Ozzie streaks around third. Another throw to the plate. This time cut off. Dansby, though, will stay in the rundown long enough to plate the 4th run. Approach, approach, approach. The Braves put together a 4-run second inning with a homer, 3 hits, and a walk. Kevin Seitzer is loving that. So is Braves country. Contreras got the rally started with his 7th homer. Big inning for the Braves and Charlie Morton, who now leads it 4-1. To the 3rd we go at beautiful Truist Park. Braves baseball is presented by Truist. Chip and Jeff with you. Kelly Crow reporting from the Braves dugout. Atlanta with a 4-run second has taken its first lead of the night. And Charlie Morton with the top of the order coming up goes back to work. Hoskins, Bowman, Harper are scheduled. That trio accounted for 2 hits. And a big inning. Wasn't that fun?
That was.
And the bottom of the order fed the top. 2-run hit for Albies, an RBI single for Dansby Swanson. So the hit streaks of Ozuna, Swanson, and Albies are already continued in preparation of the series wrap up here tomorrow night.
Yeah, get it out of the way early.
They've got a piece of Contreras and Shane Livensbarger, the home plate ump. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Charlie struck out a couple of hitters. He's gotten 7 swings and misses in the game so far. As we said, that is such a big part of his game, Jeff. His stuff is looking very good, but his ability to make balls look like strikes is a big weapon for him.
He's going to pitch with deception. That's what he wants to do. Get you in the zone and then have it disappear.
Lefty foul to the right. And 2-2 the count. Fan from Swainsboro, Georgia made that play. Good catch on a rainy night. Big Eastern Division homestand. Braves and Phillies, Braves and Marlins this weekend. The pitch. Sharply hit by right to Austin Riley. A bullet by Hoskins, but Austin Wright man in the right place. There's out number 1.
Yeah, Hoskins out front a little bit on this ball, so it was more of kind of just a little top spin hook.
Not sure what Hoskins was mad at other than the result of the play.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, he hit the ball hard, but Riley was Johnny on the spot. Here's Alec Bohm, who singled in the 1st inning and fouled away. 0-1. Said it last night. It's very strange to have gotten into 40 games of the regular season before we see the Phillies. And we won't see them again until the end of June. A 3-game series up at Citizens Bank Park.
It's crazy that we only play them 6 times for the, or 7 times for the All-Star break.
That wasn't a strike in the first inning. Charlie will take it. 0-2 the count. And we're done with the Brewers. We're done with the Padres.
Yep. But you're two of the better teams in the National League.
And I'm okay with being finished with them now. The pitch is pulled outside. 1-2 the count. New schedule will take place next year. Fewer divisional games against your rivals, 12 to be exact. And you'll play every team in Major League Baseball at least one series. More of an NBA style schedule, which I've long been in favor of. And the next from Morton is fouled away. We'll try again. 1-2 for Alec Bohm. Nice crowd tonight in Atlanta. We had 32,000 here last evening. With the bad weather around Metro Atlanta, nice turnout for Game 3 of the series. It's turned out to be a lovely night to this point. The pitch, swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Morton. Everything hard until he drops the hook on Alec Bohm for the second out.
And that's why you love sticking with that fastball away, and then you throw that pitch and you see how far out front he was. Perfect location. That's the bite that we did not see earlier this year from him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was the pitch of anything for Charlie that was a work in progress, whether it was the new ball, the new rosin. Who knows what the reason was? He just wasn't quite himself his first 3 or 4 starts.
Yeah, the fastball velocity right out the gate was 96, 97.
But he was spiking the curveball, hitting people on the back foot with it.
Well, and that was the thing. All of a sudden, they weren't really worried about that pitch, and next thing you know, they were getting ready for that fastball. Whereas now for Charlie, when he's going right, guys have to respect that curveball.
Bryce Harper has a hit tonight and takes up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, it's funny, you go back to Game 1 on Monday night, the Braves got someone thrown out at home, weren't able to score in the first inning. Tonight, same kind of deal for the Phillies. Really kind of set the tone for the game here tonight.
Yeah, because you figure you're not going to get that many chances against Charlie if he's right. And as you said, if Harper had settled for a single, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, might have been a totally different frame for the Phillies. He's back out of the shift with 2 strikes, and Harper keeps the at bat alive. 1-2. 2-time MVP Bryce Harper. Charlie ready with his 2-out pitch. And that's pulled foul. Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto. You can put them all in the same category. You don't have to watch the game. If you just close your eyes and listen, you know they're up.
Yeah, right.
Everything off his bat is loud. Again, Charlie ready. The pitch. A heck of a take. And somehow Harper laid off that 87-mile-an-hour changeup to force a 2-2 count. In the air toward right center field. That's going to get down. Demerit will play it on a hop. Bryce Harper with a productive at bat. 8 pitches, and he has a 2-for-2 night. He has gotten hot here in Atlanta.
He has. That is a good pitch right there by Charlie Morton, and that just staying with it. You show how strong he is, being able to lift that all the way to right center. He's always hit good in Atlanta. Five straight hits for him.
So here's Castellanos and a curveball. It's 0-1.
A single, double, and that home run off Jansen, and now 2 hits tonight.
Harper's got the elf in mid on as he leads from first. The pitch. And when you're struggling like Nicholas Castellanos is, this is the count you find yourself in seemingly every at bat.
Man, you think like first pitch, you get a pitch to handle and you just miss it. And then now you chase a sinker in off the plate, and as you said, you're 0-2. You're on the defense.
60 pitches for Charlie. He's in the third. He leads 4-1. And he just missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This guy's a good hitter. Nicholas Castellanos. Most extra base hits in the big league since 2018. I didn't know that.
No.
And strike 3 will freeze him. Charlie Morton has 4 punch outs in the game. Shutdown innings. Struggles for Castellanos continue. 3, 4, and 5 on the lineup card for Atlanta. The Braves look to extend a 4-1 lead. Braves enjoy a 4-1 lead. Truist Park is hopping again tonight as we look in live on our Xfinity Live Look Cam. Kelly Kroll, Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey with you. Good inning for the Braves in the second. A homer, a double, a walk, 2 singles, 4 runs come across against Ranger Suarez, the Phillies starter. And he will face Marcell Ozuna here in the Braves' third. Marcell extended his hitting streak to a dozen with a first inning 2-out hit.
He looks so much more relaxed at the plate, doesn't he? Not jumpy.
Funny what a couple of hits will do for you, huh?
Yeah, right.
Well, we say it all the time. When you look at hitters like Ozuna and Duvall and Swanson et al., you look at the back of the baseball card. There is a track record.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody would say, hey, let's start the season 3 or 4 games under 500 every year. That's a tough way to play. But as you know, if you believe in the odds evening out, as cold as this offense was, it can get hot in a big hurry. And the old baseball saying someone is going to pay.
Yeah.
Well, they're starting to now for the Braves, who, as Jeff said, have scored 30 runs in their last 7 games, a little over 4 per game. And with the good starting pitching and bullpen Atlanta can throw at you, you get 4, you feel pretty good about your chances.
Yes, you do.
But you got to keep adding on against this Philadelphia offense. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the third. The pitch is pulled foul again. As we said, the Mets lost in San Francisco today, 9-3. If the Braves can win this game, they will pick up 2 games in the standings in 2 days.
Like I said, the Mets, you know, they had to pitch a guy that's never pitched before, so they're going to run into some struggles, I think, on starting rotation.
Swing and a miss to Ozuna, who chased and is retired. They're also having some injury problems, not just in their pitching staff. James McCann is out. Jeff McNeil has some physical problems too. So, look, you don't want anybody to deal with injury, but they'll get no sympathy from the Braves, who had to deal with that all year last year and have a rehabbing Ronald Acuna Jr. So Suarez has his first strikeout. Here's Austin Riley, who popped out in the opening inning. Seeing better signs from Austin at the plate.
I see him staying in the fat part of the field. We've seen 3 out of his 4 hits up the middle the last 2 nights. For him, that's a sign that he's staying through the ball and seeing it.
Maybe those 2 knocks against Zach Wheeler in the series opener is what will get Riley going. They were missiles. Drove in a run, scored a run in the opener. And 2 hits here last night. And he finds himself way ahead. 3 balls, no strikes.
I know this Braves team likes to swing 3-0. Get yourself a middle cut fastball here. Expect to see Austin go for it.
Not close, and it's ball 4. Second walk for Suarez. It comes with 1 out. Matt Olson's the hitter.
That was 4 pretty uncompetitive pitches there.
Especially for a man who's done such good work against the Braves the first time through the order. Now he faces Matt Olson, a left-hand batter. This is where Suarez has been at his best. No homers to a left-hand hitter yet this year.
He's only given up 3 doubles in the last 2 years to left-handed hitters.
Inside, he's missed with 5 in a row. Ball 1. Phillies are in a shift. Alec Boehm is the man between first and second base. The pitch. Almost hit him. He's missed with 6 in a row, and JT Realmuto wants to visit. This has been one of the problems for Suarez. We'll discuss that in a moment. First, a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
It's no secret, Jeff, the best pitch for Suarez is that sinker. He wants ground ball outs. This year, though, as opposed to last season, all of his other pitches have been absolutely clobbered. And Caleb Gotham and Joe Girardi are trying to find a solution to that. And that one found the mark. 2 balls and a strike. Smart
I like
take.
that, though. Make him throw one.
Whole left side of the infield is wide open for Matt Olson if he wants to drive a ball that way.
To me now, 3-1 like this, you saw the 2-0 pitch. You can get started a little bit early. You think about timing up a fastball here.
He tried to hit that to the chop house. Full count. Olson chokes up ever so slightly with a 3-2 pitch. And Suarez lost him. Back-to-back walks. Phillies are asking for trouble now. Here's Contreras, 2 on, 1 out.
They got no 2 pitch in the second inning, in off the white line, and he pulled his hands in just over Schwarber's head to tie the ball game up at 1 and really break things open for the Braves offense in that second inning.
Contreras now the youngest Brave with a walk-off hit since Ronald Acuna Jr. did it last year against the Mets. 7 home runs for Contreras. Breaks a tie with Salvador Perez among major league catchers. Williams played 22 fewer games than the Royals star. 1 ball, no strikes. Suarez can't find the strike zone. Make him pay in the 3rd inning. Atlanta 4, Phillies 1. The pitch. And what a lonely feeling that's got to be when all of a sudden you can't find anything to work.
I know, and then like anything, you got a guy that's already hit a home run off you, and you feel if I just groove one down there, it could be trouble.
Braves have 9 hits with a runner in scoring position in this series. Looking for another one here from William Contreras. Riley and Olson your runners, and off the end of the bat foul. 2 balls and a strike. This is how the game ended last night.
Right off the end of the bat, great read by Ronald. Stunned them. 3 batters, 2 runs after the Bryce Harper home run.
I mean, that was in the blink of an eye.
It happened quick.
10 pitches.
I think Dansby's double was what, first pitch, then Ronald hit that deep fly ball to right on the 4th or 5th.
And the Braves did what you're supposed to do if you've got a depleted bullpen. Take advantage of who the opponents throw at you, and the Braves did just that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Real Muto took some punishment. And for Philadelphia, it was more of the same. We talked about their 9th inning losses this year. Phillies have 23 losses this year. 9 of them are in games in which they have led.
Yeah.
And that has been the biggest problem for Philadelphia, even dating back to before Joe Girardi was their manager. And Bryce Harper was very outspoken about it last night, saying those are games we have to win, especially with him providing the offensive heroics in the 9th. And Contreras was way ahead in the count, but couldn't connect and is struck out. 2 of those in the inning to go with 2 walks for Ranger Suarez. And the fate of the frame rests in the hands of Adam Duvall.
Yeah, he just got him on 3 changeups there. Just kept kind of trying to hit that corner and get himself out.
Adam walked and scored in the 2nd.
Really, changeup you see now, 4th or 5th one in a row. Braves have made him work. 2 2/3. 69th pitch coming up. Get to that bullpen again. You got one more day tomorrow. Talked about their bullpen in the open being taxed.
That's out of play to the right side. Fans will chase that one down. Fan from Tennille, Georgia, made that grab.
Where's that at?
Down near Swainsboro.
Okay. Thought I knew most of Georgia.
Bet you know what the sister city of Tennille is, don't you? Captain, of course. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Suarez is high. Couldn't resist. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
No. You?
Yeah, Braves country from far and wide coming to Truist Park this summer. The Braves over 860,000 fans. And we're not out of May yet. It has been a blast to this point. 1-2 count. Good take. 2 balls, 2 strikes. School's just getting out now across the state of Georgia, across the southeast. Weekend crowds will always be a lot of fun with Friday night fireworks. Kids run the bases on Sunday. Now the midweek crowd should be picking up too.
Yeah, kids get to stay up later.
There you go. Come to the ballpark, get some of that pink cotton candy, and have a blast. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, 4-1 Atlanta lead. The pitch. Strike 3 inside corner. And after some wildness from Suarez, he strikes out the side and strands a pair in the Atlanta 3rd.
To the 4th we go. Braves with a 4-1, let me try that again, lead over the Phillies here right now. And Charlie Morton cruising along, 62 pitches, 4 strikeouts, looking for that 4th win of the season here tonight, and very cognizant of getting deeper in ball games, guys. He told me yesterday he feels like his stuff's in a lot better of a place right now, starting to mix it in the strike zone a lot better, seeing more swing and miss, and said he's actually starting to sustain his stuff with pitch speeds into a higher pitch count. Of course, all of that going along with getting deeper into the ball game. But for him right now, Frenchie, I thought it was interesting. He said it's really starting to dial in the locations and mix. So when you hear him say that, how do you feel like you're seeing that play out tonight?
Yeah, I think he's doing a much better job, Kelly, of more I want to call tunneling. I know I'm not a pitching coach, but everything seems to be around the plate now. You're not seeing those big misses that you saw earlier. And a guy like Charlie is so meticulous in what he does, his routine, the way he thinks. I mean, you hear him talk a lot of the time. He's going to explain to you why he's doing it. But he's a guy that I think Brian Snitker will tell you, we need to get 6 innings out of him. And to me, he's getting close to that point where we saw him last year, where you knew you were going to do it every single time.
Tough luck for Morton. Some soft contact from Gene Segura just out of reach of Dansby Swanson. For a leadoff single, Schwarber the batter. And on the ground, Olsen off the heel of his glove. He'll recover and flip to Morton, who tags the bag with his glove. How about that old-fashioned play?
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
So Segura advances to second on the 3-1 putout. Check this out.
Well, he had the ball in the glove, so.
Yeah, I've always wanted to say this. For you little leaguers out there.
I was going to say, it looks like my T-ball team right there. It's an out.
Make sure the ball's in the glove if you're going to use the glove to tag the bag, right? So that's the first out. Here's JT Realmuto. He popped out his first time up. Oh, JT got hit. And Morton will have 1 out trouble here. 2 aboard. And Odubel Herrera coming up after hitting a home run in the 2nd inning.
Boy, he just let that one loose, and it was bearing in on JT the whole time.
Here's Odubel. His home run is 250th extra base hit in the major leagues. And out of play foul. It's strike 1.
Good pitch. Fastball up just outside the zone.
First and second, 1 away. Braves by 3 and way high. Contreras had to stretch out to snag that. This is a little rare for Morton. He doesn't have a ground ball out yet in tonight's game. 4 strikeouts, though. Just that one, I beg your pardon, a moment ago. The only one he's got. Thank you, Hal. But that's
you just forgot because he tagged the bag.
Yeah,
so
it took me out of my game. Sorry. But when Charlie's at his best, he does wear out that infield grass. And he could use an Odubel play here from the Phillies center fielder to get out of this 4th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Pop fly toward the Phillies dugout and no play. And here's his homer in the 2nd inning, and no doubt.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power. So he's got the big leg kick. He got a cutter middle. He did not miss that. Went over the second part of the chop house back there by the Coors Light.
Frank Coursville, we call that.
Because of the Coors Light or because of where you go? Yes, that would have been right kind of where we're sitting.
Yep.
On Friday night.
Better bring your glove.
Got to catch it barehanded.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball out of reach of Dansby, and that's going to score a run. Segura is going to come home. And first to third goes Realmuto. The Braves shifted. That cost him. That ball would have been a double play ball without the shift. And Herrera's got 2 hits, 2 RBIs. And the Phillies are threatening here in the 4th.
Yeah, it's frustrating because Charlie made a good pitch. Blew Blew him up on the inside part.
Nothing Dansby could do about that. Now you've got Bryson Stott, the rookie infielder who struck out his first time. His goal here, make some contact and bring home Realmuto with a third run. 4-2 game now. And a strike. Talking to major league pitchers, they approach their game plan, their scouting report, and go through the lineup card and look at where they can go get outs. You like Charlie's chances, a veteran man facing a young Philly hitter.
And getting ahead of a 0-2 now. You really can use. Struck out the first time, as you said, and now he's got first and third. He wants to make something happen, wants to put the ball in play. Take advantage of that here and get him to expand.
This is Stott's 11th big league game. Charlie Morton's making his 300th start. Double play gets him out of it. A strikeout wouldn't hurt either. 1 ball 2 strikes to the 9th place hitter, who played at 3 levels in the Phillies system last year and hit 16 home runs. They like him a lot. His stance kind of reminds me of Chipper's with that bat waggle.
Yeah.
Slightly open.
And he tried to go back foot curveball on him. I don't mind the high fastball riding up in the zone right here to try to get a swing and miss.
Lifted to the left side and out of play. It's still 2-2. Phillies forcing up the pitch count of Morton. Now he's up to 76. And that, as much as anything, Jeff, is why Charlie hasn't yet been able to get to 6 or 7 innings consistently yet. 26 tosses in the first inning. He has yet to have a 1-2-3 frame. And the 6th pitch on the way to the Philly shortstop. Tied him up. Did he go? He didn't. That was close. Tried to sneak a fastball in the inner half and missed. Full count.
Boy, that's really close.
Let's see if Herrera's running. He's the man at first with 1 out. 3-2 pitch. He's not. And a little pop. Riley foul ground onto the warning track, and that's a big second out.
And he ran that fastball in finally and blew him up on the inside part.
So 2 outs, first and third, 1 in. Rhys Hoskins has been caught looking, and he's lined out. Hoskins was muttering in the 3rd inning. He hit a bullet right at Austin Riley, who backs up 4 steps. At third base, the pitch.
I think we got a great here. He probably was yelling at himself, or the wasn't a, because he took 1 pitch and it was fastball right down the middle, obvious strike, and then swung at everything else.
Not your prototypical leadoff man, but Hoskins doing a good job there. And almost got hit with that curveball. That was close. Bohm and Harper lurking for the Phillies in the 4th. The Braves with a 2-run lead. You gotta keep adding on offensively, and you got to put out this rally right here if you can. Realmuto hit by a pitch is at third. Herrera's at first with a run-scoring single. And Charlie gets ahead 1-2. Let's see if he can finish his man. Squibbed up the middle. Ozzy's got it. Race to the bag at second, and that will retire the side. That is Charlie Morton's second ground ball out. Both of them came in the 4th inning. He gives up one, but not the lead here in Atlanta.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the GMC Sierra heavy-duty truck. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Chip and Jeff with you from Atlanta. Let's get a run or two back here. Braves got all 4 of their tallies in the 2nd inning. They threatened in the 3rd with a couple of walks. And now in the 4th inning of a 4-2 game, it'll be Orlando Arcia, Travis Demeritte, and Ozzy Albies coming up.
Love to put a couple runners on here and get the knockout punch for Suarez and get to that bullpen. What, up to 72 pitches now?
Rangers Suarez, 73 pitches, 42 strikes. That's kind of been the story for him much of the year. When the sinker's not working, he can have a long night.
You know, he faced the Dodgers last start and only went 3 innings. A lot of pitches there too. Some of these deep lineups, you can tell he's trying to kind of pick corners a little too much.
Yeah, 84 pitches in 5 frames against LA.
Well, you go back to last inning, you know, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Seemed like every guy had 3-2 count. And it's just so tough to survive that way.
And he's promptly gone 3-0 to the Braves leadoff man. And a 4-pitch walk is the 4th base on balls. And that's how the Atlanta inning starts. Travis Demeritte's up.
Look at that, 33 and 27 there in the 2nd and 3rd.
Well, let's see how you handle Travis Demeritte here. He's 0 for 30, Jeff. He needs something good to happen at the plate.
Well, right here, I'm setting my sights out in the fact that I'm trying to drive the ball to right field right here. Drive that fastball, and then if you get the changeup, you might be in a good position to drive it to left center.
The Braves don't have a sacrifice bunt. I know it's not fashionable. I know we're in the middle innings of the game. But you've got a man in the lineup that's looking to do something productively, advancing a base runner.
I would sometimes. I'm not letting Suarez out right now the way he's pitching. I'm not giving him a free out. I'm sorry.
1-0 pitch on the ground, should be 2. There's 1, and there is the double play. 2 outs. So that erases that threat. Here's Ozzy Albies.
You talk about it, the changeup. There's the changeup. So you get him out front. Or to me, if you're trying to shoot that fastball to right field, what we saw Dansby do, you know, what we saw Ozzy do, stay inside that ball. It's a guy that's lefty. He wants you to get a big swing like that.
So he can go back to the windup here. Ozzy with a 2-run single and takes a strike. Three of the last 6 Braves hitters have walked, but they've not been able to do anything with it. And Suarez now with his 80th pitch is ahead of Ozzy, 0-2. In the Phillies 5th, they'll have Bohm, Harper, and Castellanos coming up. Charlie Morton's thrown a lot of pitches too, but he leads by a pair. He's thrown 82 as well. So he and Suarez on similar paths here in Game 3. That's a great thing about baseball. Fans at home, broadcasters in the booth, managers in the dugout. There are a zillion different strategies you can try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And a little swinging bunt. This one to the mound. Suarez, wet baseball, no trouble. And after the leadoff walk, he recovers to get Demeritte and Ozzy Albies. We're through 4 in Atlanta. Glad you're with us. 4-2, the Braves in front. 4-2 Atlanta. We go to the 5th inning in Truist Park tonight. Braves fans have seen all the buzz around the World Series replica ring, and now's your last chance to get one too. The final World Series replica ring giveaway is Monday, July 11th. All 40,000 fans in attendance will get their own replica World Championship ring. Get your tickets before they're sold out. It's Braves.com/tickets. July 11th. The New York Mets will be in town for the first of a 3-game series. That's right before the All-Star break.
Right before you go to the beach and tan, right?
Yeah, it's only if nobody else is using it. The pitch is lined over Ozzy's head. Alec Boehm with a base hit. And he's aboard in front of Bryce Harper. 2 hits for Boehm.
He's in 300 this year. I'll tell you what, ever since he said those things up in Philly and the fans gave him that cheer, he's been, that's a nice piece of hitting.
Yeah.
Taking a good curveball, staying up the middle on it.
So now Harper 2 for 2. He's 5 for his last 5 in this series. All that's missing for Harper is a triple, and he'd hit for the cycle in the first 3 games combined. See if Charlie can get him to hit into a double play. Neither starter has had an easy time of it tonight. Luckily for us, Charlie's got the lead, and Harper mashes that to right on the first pitch. And Boehm stumbles around second on his way to third. Harper on his way to second. They'll play it safe. Second and third, nobody out. Bryce Harper is 6 for his last 6.
I mean, that's just a hanging curveball to him right now, and the way he's seeing the ball, that looks like a beach ball.
Little bobble by Demerit.
I don't know that that would have mattered. I think Harper's going 2 all the way.
Well, we saw that in the first inning, right?
That's true.
He wasn't going to be denied. So Charlie's got his hands full. Second and third, nobody out. Castellanos has walked and struck out. The Braves 4-2 lead in jeopardy here in the 5th. The Phillies have 8 hits. And action has begun in the Braves bullpen. Spencer Strider is up first.
I think you worry about now the last couple 10 pitches or so, all those curveballs are starting to just kind of back up and hang. He's had to work a lot tonight.
On the ground, Harper to third. Run will score, and Castellanos puts it in play. Alec Boehm makes it a 4-3 game. Castellanos has his 22nd RBI. ABC baseball for the Phillies.
Smart play by Dansby. If that ball was a little more at him, you might have saw him try to go to second base or to third to get Harper.
So Segura becomes the key man in the inning. The Braves infield will come in, and that's not an enviable task against Segura, who's up to his tricks against the Braves. This guy shredded the Atlanta staff last year. Segura with 4 hits in the first game of this series, and now has a 6-game hitting streak. This is how the Phillies are going to play. They're going to have to outscore people, outslug people. 3 runs on 8 hits for them tonight. Even count for Segura. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies led 1-0 in the second inning and a Dubal Herrera home run. The Braves came back with a home run from Contreras in their half of that inning. A walk, a double, and then with 2 outs, back-to-back hits from Albies and Swanson. That capped a 4-run inning. The Phillies with single tallies in the 4th and 1 so far here in the 5th. And on the ground, Olsen can't get that, and that ties the game.
talk about the Braves hitters having a simple approach. You can see he did a great job there too, knowing all you got to do is shoot one through that hole. This might be it for Charlie.
Yeah, Brian Snitker is making his way out. Rick Kranitz went to the bullpen phone, and Charlie Morton can't get out of the 5th inning tonight. He had a short outing against the Marlins in his last start, 5 1/3, but the Braves ended up winning that game. Snit has not yet made the call. He wants an honest answer from Morton here. And yeah, finally, after 90 pitches, Charlie will be taken down after the Phillies score twice on 3 hits. So Spencer Strider will come on and try to keep it tied. 4-4 your score.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Kaiser Permanente, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Always wear your seatbelt.
Some flashes of greatness for Charlie Morton in Game 3 tonight, but it's a 4-4 game. 9 hits allowed by Charlie through 4 1/3 innings. And now, Jeff, interesting times for Spencer Strider, who has been a 1-inning guy for the most part in 3 of his last 5 outings. Now you wonder how much Snit will or wants to use him in this game tonight.
I think you'll see him get some length tonight if he has an opportunity. Couple innings. Charlie just never had an easy inning tonight. You go back to 3rd inning, he gave up a single to Harper. Other than that, he had runners on all night. And just finally they broke through.
So a good fastball hitter is Kyle Schwarber, and he's going to see some good fastballs from Strider. And of course, he starts him off with something else.
Smart, because you know Schwarber is ready to go.
So this is where the injury to Tyler Matzik and the injury to Luke Jackson is apparent for Atlanta. I'll explain after the pitch. Matzik out with the shoulder. Luke coming back from Tommy John surgery. It's a different composition for the Braves bullpen and some different roles. And Schwarber behind a strike. The pitch didn't get that. If Matzik were healthy, you could use Strider and keep him as a mid to long inning guy for you in a game like this. But now with Matzik out, the Braves have used him in a high leverage setup situation. 7th inning sometimes, 6th inning with men on base. Now he follows Charlie Morton in the middle innings. And that's an impressive way to start. Right on by Kyle Schwarber, blistering fastballs, and he gets the first man he faces for out number 2.
The good news is you see here, just beats him to the spot. Schwarber right under it. Look at this strikeouts this year on our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 19 of them at 99 plus. What do the majority of them have in common, Chip? Up in the zone. Right at that letter high, and it's tough for anybody to get to that pitch.
So JT Realmuto bats and takes 99 upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. So Strider first out of the pen. We'll see how Snit mixes and matches the rest of the way.
I think he's used Spencer so many different ways that I think, you know, Spencer's confident in how he's throwing the ball right now, so I don't think he really cares. He just wants to pitch. And look, this is an important part of the game right here. You want to kill this rally. The last 2-3 innings have not gone like you wanted it to, but Suarez's pitch count's way up, and you're looking at that Phillies pen that you can score off of.
1 ball, 1 strike for JT Realmuto. And that missed inside. Ball 2. The last 8 outings for Spencer, the longest was a 4-inning game against the Brewers on May 6th. After that, Jeff, the longest outing, 2 innings. Last time he pitched was May 21st in Miami. That was an inning and 2/3 with a couple of strikeouts. So I guess my question is he still stretched out? If that is a reasonable query.
That's a good question. I mean, stretched out for a couple innings, yes. I don't know if, you know, 70 pitches is possible, but
One thing we know about Spencer is he usually is very economical with all that gas. 3 balls and a strike. Short lead at first. And that's downstairs. A 2-out walk for Real Muto, who reaches for the second time. And here's Herrera, who's 2 for 2. Segura in scoring position. He belongs to Charlie Morton, who's given up 4 runs so far tonight. 90 pitches for Charlie through 4 1/3. Let's see if Spencer can end Herrera's perfect night. He had 3 hits in his previous 19 tries. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And the Braves come up in the 5th inning. They'll have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. So as Jeff said, shut them down here. It's a new game. And a battle of the bullpens, perhaps. If they can get to Ranger Suarez. And right at the Phillies logo, strike 1. Check of the runner at second, and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. All the accolades for Spencer Strider are certainly well deserved. His fastball sinker average velocity is almost 99 miles an hour. And what you love about this kid is, as I said, he throws strikes. The ability to do that, Jeff, with 99 miles an hour, boy, that's an incredible weapon.
Well, now you have to respect the 99, and you have that pitch on the back of your head. Same thing that happened to Schwarber. You saw that pitch, so you're going to be thinking about it just a little bit. And if he can put that 99, 100 right at the top of the zone here, chances are he's going to be late.
Last 8 outings for Strider, including tonight, 24 strikeouts, 5 walks. You'll take that.
Yeah.
And he's got Herrera set up. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 on. And he muscled that out of play to the left side, foul. And we'll try again. Neither starting pitcher has had a clean 1, 2, 3 inning. Suarez got the Braves facing 3 hitters in the 4th, but that inning started with a leadoff walk. Then Demerit swung early in the count and was doubled up. The pitch laced off the netting. We'll try again. Herrera fighting tough here with 2 strikes. On the ground, right to Matt Olson. He'll vacuum that up, and that will shut the door on the Phillies in the 5th. They get a couple of runs on 3 hits. They tie the game 4-4, but the middle of the Braves order is coming up here in Atlanta. Fans, the Xfinity Club is the largest climate control premium space at Truist Park. It features Mr. B's Bourbon Bar with 150 bourbons and multiple chef curated food stations. The Xfinity Club mingles suites, tables, and individual seats. Join the 2023 Xfinity Club priority waitlist at braves.com/premium and be the first to know when space comes available. New game 4-4. Braves led this one 4-1. The Phillies, with runs in the 4th and 5th, have got it tied. But now Ranger Suarez will face Dansby, Marcel, and Austin Riley for the 3rd time tonight. Swanson an RBI hit in the 2nd. Braves let him off the hook in the 3rd inning. Back-to-back walks with 1 out. Then 2 strikeouts ended the 3rd inning threat. A leadoff walk in the 4th and a double play limited the Suarez damage. That's across the shoes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to add on.
Yeah, I mean,
that's one issue of the offensive late. As good as it's been sometimes one or two innings, and that's it. Inside out swing, and Dansby shoots one the other way. He's got 2 hits. And I think, Jeff, we're seeing a trend not just with the Braves, but all around Major League Baseball. If the ball is dead, the way you're going to score runs is hitting the ball the other way.
Yeah, and I mean, not even because, you see these guys still have plenty of power, but look, Suarez, again, like we talked about with Travis Demeritte last inning, he's trying to get you to have a big swing and pull the ball. And when you fight back and do something like this, guys aren't used to hitters doing it. I mean, look, I think that's why the Braves tonight, 6 hits at 25 the first 2 games combined. You do that enough with the guys in this lineup, someone's going to run into one for a 2-3 run homer. That's what we've seen in years past.
Well, in the trio coming up, actually the 4 hitters due up next for the Braves. Well, 5 if you count Duvall. They're all capable. Let's see if somebody can do it here and break this tie. Marcel shot that into the stands to the right side. Fan from Alma, Georgia. Jeff knows that place very well.
Blueberry country.
And strike 1 for Ozuna. 4-4 game. Charlie Morton has been chased. Ranger Suarez trying to buy another inning for Joe Girardi. There is action in their bullpen. Alvarado is up.
Ooh.
Marcel's looking back at JT Realmuto. I wonder if he missed his target and still got the call. Yep. That's what Marcel saw, the big reach.
Well, even that, the ball's off the plate.
Let's see if Ozuna can protect with 2 strikes. Dansby a good lead at first. And strike 3 at the belt inside corner. He got both sides of the plate that time. And Ozuna struck out for the 2nd time. 1 on, 1 out, and Austin Riley to hitter.
Now that one's a strike. That's a tough pitch. Painted in, you kind of give up on it, and it just stays right there in the inner half.
So a lot of pitches for Ranger Suarez tonight. Joe Girardi lets him take care of Ozuna. He will depart. He will not get through the 5th inning for the Philadelphia skipper. Jesus Alvarado was warming up. Looks like he'll be coming in to face Austin Riley with the game tied in the 5th inning. It's time for an Xfinity game break. What a last 24 hours for Jock Peterson. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 homers, Jeff, against the Mets. Man that idolized Barry Bonds growing up in the Bay Area. Had a long conversation with him yesterday, and boy, did that pay off for San Fran.
4 home runs and like, what, 6 ABs out there.
So Peterson and the Giants helped out the Braves with 2 wins over New York. And it's Jose Alvarado, not Jesus, my mistake. Jose pitching in his 17th game this year. And you can see why Joe Girardi was reluctant to bring him in last night, Jeff. 7.30 ERA, a lot of walks. But a guy that historically has been tough on the Atlanta offense.
Yeah, but you see that, the walks. He will walk you if you let him. And you see that Phillies bullpen. 6.39 in the last 30 games here at Truist Park. You saw the bullpen again last night struggle.
And they've got to get 14 outs, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
In this game.
That's what Alvarado, high strikeout, but high walks.
So let's see what Austin Riley can do here with a man aboard, 1 out. Riley has popped out and walked tonight. And a good start. 98-mile-an-hour sinker. When that sinker is working, this guy's as good as they come. Riley is 0 for 6, couple of strikeouts against the Phillies left-hander. That group should be well rested. Here for game 3. 4-4 your scores. Strike 1. And that one bounced up. Good secondary lead by Dansby. He's going to beat the wrap and the throw into center. Swanson's going to advance. The ball got by Herrera. Dansby's going to Wet ball. I guarantee it hydroplaned, and it cost Herrera.
Wow. Well, first off, great read by Dansby here. Saw the dirt ball, and he went right away. Probably a ball Real Muto's going to wish that he would have ate, because look at that. Great jump. I think he just took his eye off it. The ball kind of hit Segura's glove, so it slowed it down a little bit.
That could be a double error after the wild pitch on the throw, and Herrera missing the ball in center.
Absolutely, it's going to be a double error. I don't know what else it. Wow.
So how about that being a tough way for Suarez to give up the 5th run of the game, and the lead. Braves are back in front on a gift.
Thank you very much.
There's only one error on the play. Apparently they're giving it to Herrera.
I guess he's figuring he beat it out. So
1-2 count.
I guess it makes sense, because if you think back, Dansby was not going to third chip until he saw the ball go past Odubel Herrera. If he would have gone right away, that's an error on probably Real Muto.
So you can't argue that scoring. Either way, the Braves take the lead in a crazy way. Now Riley, a 2-2 count. Swing and a drive, belted left. 2-run lead. Sports writers and managers hate leaky pens. And Joe Girardi is running out of ink choices as to who to put in the game. And he'll check out the lineup card again, as there are no options for his relief corps right now.
I mean, Alvarado throws this ball down in the zone, and Austin Riley, we've seen him start it. Look at him. See, staying tall, dropping the head, staying behind it. About 10-12 rows up in left field.
So the Braves have their 2nd homer of the game. One from Contreras, one from Riley. The lead back to 2. And that's bounced toward the Braves dugout. All the fireworks, a little smoke hanging in the air here. That ball was vaporized by Riley. His 9th homer. He's up to 20 RBIs now. And a little more breathing room for Spencer Strider and company in a 6-4 game. And Olsen tonight has popped out and walked. Got his hands full with Alvarado here. No balls, 2 strikes. Gentle breeze blowing toward the chop house. And here she comes.
Even though Olsen hits lefties at a pretty good clip, he's got to be thinking, man, I get Ranger Suarez, who's given up 3 extra base hits to lefties, and now I get a guy throwing 98 with bowling ball sinkers.
I've got an amazing stat on the Phillies bullpen that I'll share after Olsen's at bat, but it goes to the problems that Joe Girardi is facing, and the Phillies have faced for the last couple of years. The Phillies bullpen has thrown about 80 fewer innings than their starting staff this year. They've issued 24 more walks in 80 fewer innings. Now, when you think about when these guys are coming into the game, you can understand why Joe Girardi's hair is getting grayer by the minute. They just have not been able to stop bleeding on a consistent basis. 2-2 count.
Well, the hard thing is your offense fights back and gets you 3 more runs off Charlie Morton to tie this ball game up, and before you can even get up again to try to get a lead, you're down.
Well, this is what Bryce Harper said a couple of years ago, and I think it was when he was with the Nationals, and it applies to the Phillies here too. You feel like you have to win the game 2 or 3 times. Yep. That is really demoralizing. And for the Braves, super uplifting to get a gift run, and then Riley parks one. 2-2. Olson shoots that into right field, lefty. So Alvarado hasn't retired a batter. Olson hangs in there, Jeff. Tough assignment. Look at Kevin Seitzer. Love the approach and the result. Olson's got his 3rd hit of the series.
Let me tell you, as good as Austin Riley's home run was, don't get me wrong, as a lefty-on-lefty at bat, to do this after 7 pitches, it's almost just as satisfying as hitting one into the chop house.
So that's the 8th hit for Atlanta. The Braves have had 10 or more hits in each of their last 2 games. And here we are just in the 5th inning. Here's Contreras. He's homered. He's struck out. Ball 1. The other part of the walks is obviously it can keep rallies and innings alive, but you can't defend them.
Yeah.
And this is a Phillies defense that, let's face it, they need help from their starters and bullpen guys as much as they need help from the glovemen behind them. And all the standing around and the pawing around. Look at the body language of the Phillies. They've seen this movie, Jeff, so often. So keep on pouring it on here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Philly pen, last 5 batters, 4 hits, and a sac fly if you go back to last night.
So Contreras steps out. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. "14 pitches for Alvarado. He has not retired a batter. Here it is. That ball caught Realmuto, not the other way around. He did a heck of a job to come out of his crouch before that sailed by him. 3-1. Dansby led off the inning with a single. Took second on a wild pitch. Realmuto tried to throw him out. The ball scooted past the second base bag. Herrera flat out muffed it, and Dansby strolled home for the lead. Then Riley hits a homer. Now Olson at first with 1 out. And the pitch is low, ball 4. Another bullpen walk for the Phillies. 2 on, 1 out, 2 in. And Adam Duvall is coming up.
When you talk about the troubles of this pen, not only all around, but here at Truist Park, and they continue.
So Caleb Gotham again to the mound. Adam Duvall is up. Let's see if Adam can hit one airborne. How apropos is that? Here's a message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Not sure what Caleb Gotham can say other than you might want to throw some strikes. Adam Duvall has walked, scored, and struck out.
And that's the thing too, as an offense now you can really start to zero in. I'm looking fastball down in the zone, out over the plate. Anywhere else, shut down, because right now he's showing you he can't throw any off speed for a strike.
It was down. He took it. Ball 1.
Went cutter. He's trying something to throw for a strike. And the last thing you want to do right now is let him out.
All Arcia's on deck for the Braves, who've taken a 6-4 lead. Wind picking up, blowing toward right center. The pitch. And this is where, to your point, Jeff, a veteran hitter, you get the sense Duvall's reeling him in.
Yeah, I mean, again, you let this guy bury himself right now.
Yeah. Two balls, no strikes. Every defender on the Phillies team is standing at their position in exasperation.
That's what happens.
You got to figure he's taken here. We'll see. 3-0 count.
I would hope.
He'd better
I'll be honest.
Yeah. And that was 99 miles an hour.
You know me, I'm all for aggressive hitters.
Yes, yes, you are.
In that scenario right there, and even on this pitch right here, you got to make sure. Obviously, it's 99, so you got to get ready for it, but you can zero in again.
Ball 4. Bases are loaded for Orlando Arcia. So Alvarado's given up a homer, a single, a walk, and the bases are loaded. That's not what Joe Girardi had in mind.
I think it's interesting as a manager, you start to kind of ask, well, who do you want me to bring in? You know, last night a lot of Phillies people were talking, why'd you not bring in Alvarado to save the game in this kind of part? Well, now you're like, well, look what he's doing.
Connor Brogdon is getting ready. He gave up a hit in a third of an inning and allowed one man to score. Bases are loaded for Arcia. And again, Orlando has been around the block. He's going to make this guy try to get ahead. He couldn't with the first pitch. 22 pitches, 13 balls.
We tell you, Arcia hadn't played in what, 8-9 days. 1 for 1, double walk.
Demerit on deck. Braves by 2. A chance for another big inning. They got 4 in the second. And that one a beauty. 1-1. Olson, Contreras, Duvall, the runners. And what a lonely circle in the center of the diamond it is for Jose Alvarado. He's allowed runs in 3 of his last outings, 4 of his last 6, counting the homer tonight. Two balls and a strike for Orlando. There is 1 out in the inning. Travis Demerit waits next. Arcia, the 7th man to hit. Olson at third. Contreras second. Duvall at first. And the 2-2 pitch. Hot shot. Bohm's got it. Spears it. Throws to second, 1 and to first. A double play. An absolute missile. Bails out Alvarado. Atlanta gets a home run and a gift from the Phillies. Riley's homer, a blast to deep left, his 9th of the year, a 2-run 5th for the Braves, who have the lead back. It's 6-4. A mammoth homer from that man, Austin Riley, gives Spencer Strider some breathing room as we move to the 6th inning. Braves 6. Phillies 4. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. This has been one entertaining game, I'll say that. There's been a lot of action.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson's been in the thick of that, hitting second for the Braves. 2 hits, 1 RBI and a run scored. Riley the home run. Contreras, Duvall, and Arcia have each scored, and now Spencer Strider, Jeff, has a chance with another inning or 2 to pick up a victory tonight.
Yeah, look, I think that's what you definitely got him penciled in for the 6th, and then you have your choice possibly if you want to put him in for the 7th, depending what his pitch count is this inning.
2 kids get after it now. Bryson Stott leads off for the Phillies in the 6th. Stott has struck out and popped out. Phillies are getting their first look at Spencer Strider. It's always fun when a guy sees a club for the first time to go down the next day and say, hey, what'd you think?
Yeah.
Get an honest impression.
I think a lot of these guys will say pretty good fastball.
I would think so. And that one right on by Stott, and Strider has his 2nd strikeout. Good start to the 6th inning. And now we go to the top of the order with Hoskins, Bohm, and Bryce Harper lurking.
That's just so. Look at that, 100 miles per hour, top of the zone. You're not going to catch up with that.
You said Aroldis Chapman's got through the hardest you ever faced?
Yeah, it just exploded out of his hand. I mean, that was in the middle of his prime where he was sitting 102, 103.
Rhys Hoskins hits.
That's the whole idea. If it's a well-located fastball, you pretty much have no chance. You're feasting on their mistake.
12 strikes among 18 pitches for Strider tonight. And that's the pitch that, again, makes it so unfair.
No, because it's 1-0. You think, man, I'm going to get started here early, cheat to it, and then they throw you that pitch.
But he can throw it as a waste pitch
Exactly.
that draws a strike, but he can also throw it for a strike. At least early on. One overcooked, 2 balls and a strike. Hoskins is 0 for 3. As the Phillies leadoff man tonight. And 2 for 12 in the series. 2 balls and a strike. No swing. Don't want action in front of Bohm and Harper. Those 2 guys have had a big night. They're combined 5 for 6. Bohm just made a great play to end the Braves inning on a missile off the bat of Orlando Arcia that turned into a double play. And that one too high. It's the 2nd walk for Spencer Strider, and Bohm is coming up. So the same thing that applied to the Phillies applies to the Braves. Close game, can't walk people. Not with this part of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, not with Harper. I mean, you were kind of hoping Harper could lead off the 7th inning. Now, he still got a chance, ground ball double play.
And barring a double play, you will get Strider versus Harper. Well, that's going to be a fun matchup. And caught a corner. You think about boyhood dreams as a pitcher coming in to pitch against Ronald Acuna Jr., Albert Pujols, and Bryce Harper. That's what you come to a big league game to see. No balls and a strike. Wind blowing toward right for Bohm. And fouled away. 14-mile-an-hour difference, Jeff, between that fastball and the slider.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing, too, though. That slider, it's not like he just throws hanging sliders. I mean, it's got good action to it, good depth.
Nothing in 2 for Alec Bohm. World of options for Spencer here. And tried to get a chase, and Bohm was wise to that. It's 1-2. If you didn't hear, the Giants beat the Mets today 9-3. Nationals shut out the Dodgers 1-0. Tampa Bay beating the Marlins 5-4. That's the East in a nutshell. Here it's 6-4 Braves in game 3. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Bohm didn't get that. That's the 3rd strikeout for Spencer, and here we go. You want power versus power? We got it.
Well, he laid off the one before that, and then you go right back up there, and this time it looks too good not to go after. You see, I mean, he's not even getting tips on those pitches, just getting swing and miss.
So, Jeff, you've seen Bryce Harper up close as an opponent. You've seen him as a broadcaster now. As hot as he is, how do you pitch to him?
Up in the zone. I mean, I think you got, you know, and right here, I wouldn't mind seeing him throw 199 or so in. Just, you know, back him off a little bit.
Harper is 6 for his last 6 in the series. And there's power and power. 99, strike one.
When you think about it, a lot of the pitches we've seen Harper hit this series have been off speed pitches. Jansen's was a cutter at 92, but I like that high velocity up.
1 strike pitch. Hoskins at first, 2 outs. Late on that. And you could see in that last camera shot we had with Bryce Harper as he swung and missed, the look of intensity and concentration. He can sense, I think, Spencer Strider is a different guy.
Oh, yeah.
One of those guys.
If he hasn't been watching the last 5 batters before him, and say that fastball's coming in there a little different.
0-2 from Strider to Bryce Harper. Here it is. And popped out of play, foul.
See, and to me now, this is where you can throw an off-speed pitch right here. If you watch Bryce right before Spencer goes, he's getting set. He's getting ready really, really early. So he's stalling out for that fastball, which you have to. And even if you don't get a swing and miss here, at least you might change his eye level for the next fastball if you go back up.
Again, 0-2 for Harper. Pitch. He's loose. That was 101 miles an hour.
Oh, you don't think there's a little adrenaline going through him either? You've seen what Harper's done this whole series.
Look at his focus. Look at Strider. To the belt. And the 1-2. There's the breaking ball. So now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got Castellanos, a right-hand hitter, waiting on deck. If you want to be careful with Harper, he does, though, represent the tying run.
Attention media, tonight's attendance is 29,339.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here we go from Spencer Strider. The pitch on the ground. Ozzie got a big hop, and Harper's perfect run comes to an end. Spencer Strider wins round 1 with the Phillies superstar and protects a 6-4 lead.
See Rick Kranitz talking to Spencer Strider. 6'4", bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at this last at bat. Power on power. Harper 6 for his last 6. 99 up, comes back here. 99, same thing, gets the foul. So he climbs up a little higher at 100. Really tries to get that one at 101 up. This is the one I think that sets it up. You change his eye level a little bit, and you come back at 100 and get him to roll over to second base. Something just a little different that he's seen. And like you said, unbelievable job by him. Answers the bell to another challenge and gets the hottest hitter to roll over. Keep a 2-run lead.
And it goes back to the Braves offense now. It'll start with Travis Demeritte in the Atlanta 6th. A familiar face on for the Phillies. We saw this young man last night. Andrew Bellotti struck out a pair of men in an inning's worth of work. And you see what he has done of late for Philadelphia. He's been a good pitcher in their bullpen. Alvarado went 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 walks, and the Riley home run. So Travis could use a hit. He's 0 for his last 31 at the plate. Down and away strike. Might have been low. Demeritte thought so. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1. 6 runs for the Braves, 8 hits, no errors, 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 very big error for the Phillies. That was the muff by Odubel Herrera in center that allowed Dansby Swanson to score on a wild pitch from first base. Haven't seen that before in a major league game. 2-1. Paints the inside corner. This guy showed off a good arm last night.
It'll be interesting to see if Strider goes back out. I'm not seeing anybody warm up, and I think that's the part at this point, Chip. If he's strong what he's done today, he's going to be down for a day or two, so I like sending him back out for the 7th.
There's nobody up in the pen. As that's off the plate to Travis. All right, he's got it full, 3-2, right?
Yep.
1,000-mile journey begins with the first step. Let's see if he can get on here with nobody out. Wind picking up as the Braves and Phillies fight on tonight. And the right-hander pauses, and here it is. It's not to be. Demerit swings and misses, and that's the first out in the home 6th.
And before we get to the next batter, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Landmark Morrow's Memorial Day sales event. Giant selection, giant savings, giant trade cash this week only.
Always the best deal, always.
Back to the top, Ozzie Albies. He's got a 2-run hit tonight. He's also scored one of the Braves' 6 runs. Ozzie will take an 8-game hitting streak into tomorrow night's matchup with Aaron Nola. Kyle Wright will be on the mound for the Braves. One ball, one strike. One defender on the left side for the Phillies. Ozzie batting left-handed here and went to a knee and couldn't check his swing.
That's one thing. Sometimes even when Ozzie might not go, Chip, because he's so far out front, that body kind of spins. I think a lot of times it gives the umpire the feeling of he went.
So with 1 out, Ozzie's got to protect a ball and 2 strikes. And that shaved off the outside corner. That was a nice sequence. And back-to-back strikeouts for the Braves offense brings up Dansby Swanson.
JT did a good job of making that pitch look better than what it really was.
Two hits for Dansby, hitting in the 2nd spot tonight. Again, Ronald Acuna Jr., if you're just joining us, was a late scratch. His quad was sore after the game last night, was still feeling some discomfort before the game today, and with the wet turf, the Braves decided to play that cautiously to give him the night off. And as Snit has told us before, you don't even figure to have Ronald available to pinch hit. It doesn't make sense, according to Snit, to have him sitting around cold for 2-3 hours and then bring him in an important situation in the game. That's not to say it can't happen.
I was going to say, I think it, you know, it might have changed now compared to, remember, because we thought about it in Texas that time. That was the first series back.
Right, on the turf and all that.
So you might see a certain situation. Like I said, it's got to be the perfect situation, though.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Exactly.
Keep adding on to this 2-run lead. But Bellotti has been a tough customer. 30-year-old right-hander. He's been with a number of major league organizations. In fact, missed 2 years because of injury. But here he is in the show trying to help out the Phillies. And the 0-2 pitch is smothered low by JT Realmuto. Marcell Ozuna waits on deck. He'd love a chance to add to the lead here in the 6th. Neither Morton nor Suarez can win the game. Ranger Suarez on the hook for the loss at the moment. Spencer Strider, the pitcher of record for Atlanta. Two and two. When Dansby's going right and hitting the ball the other way, he is an ideal number 2 hitter, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think the good thing for him, though, I agree, he's a great 2-hole hitter, but he also, when the offense is going great, is so valuable to me at the bottom because he can flip that lineup around and kind of be like an extra leadoff hitter.
And he's certainly been doing that during this hot week. Bellotti ready with his 2-2 pitch. And he fought that off. Boy, that's a dangerous offering. You go in there. Dansby's been known to turn and burn and hit it to the opposing bullpen. Two outs, nobody aboard for Dansby Swanson. And here we go. Driven toward right field. That's pretty well hit. Castellanos will turn. That ball is gone. A 3-hit night for Dansby Swanson. He goes the other way. That's when he's at his best, and that one cleared the wall by a good margin, and the Braves extend the lead.
Just that small thing, a tack on run. After a couple of strikeouts, works 2 strikes into the count. Look at that swing. That's kind of sinking in on his hands. He takes that knob directly to the ball. 102 off the bat.
So Bellotti's perfect night ruined with Dansby Swanson's second 2-out RBI in this game. He's the team leader with 13 of those. And it's now a 7-4 Braves lead. This one hit into the shift. Tough break for Ozuna. Segura was right there, and that will retire the side. Add on runs. Love them. Through 6, Atlanta leads the Phillies 7-4 in Game 3. Dansby Swanson having a 3-hit night. His 6th home run sends us to the 7th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
This has been fun tonight. 7-4. Atlanta has the lead. Big inning for the Braves in the 2nd. They scored 4 times, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Jeff, after the Phillies tied it up. And now Spencer Strider will try to complete his 2nd full inning, this time in the 7th. Strider has struck out 3 through an inning and 2/3 with a couple of walks and no hits.
Yeah, you got to love where he's at right now, and I think with pitch count at 32, it's why he's back out. He's burned for a day or 2, so you might as well go ahead and see if you can get another inning out of him.
Downstairs to Nick Castellanos, who's walked, struck out, and grounded out for an RBI in the game.
And think about it, last night you used Smith, Minter, and Jansen.
That was close. 2-0. That paints the edge. Kenley Jansen ought to be good. He's worked what, twice in the last 5 days. Colin McHugh should be okay. You've got Minter ready to go on back-to-back days if needed. Will Smith threw a lot of pitches last night. I think that's the only concern you'd have about maybe using him tonight.
Well, it's trying to get you through the 7th here. I think you got the ability, if you want to, do Minter Jansen tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kinley is itching to get back out on that mound.
2-2 to Castellanos. Out of play and into the third deck.
But you never know. I mean, he keeps going like that. You could throw another inning.
He is a starter by trade.
Yeah.
But you got a 3-run lead, so we'll see how it plays out. Driven to center. Duvall going back to the warning track, and the wind knocks that down. Castellanos squared that up, but he's out number 1. Here's Gene Segura. Segura tonight has 2 more hits against the Braves. He's got a 6-game hit streak. There's a late swing, 98 miles an hour. Ten o'clock in Atlanta. The Braves lead 7-4. And now he's a strike away from retiring Gene Segura. Again, pitching deep into games or multiple innings has, Jeff, not been a problem for Spencer Strider.
No, we were talking about, the length he's been able to give the Braves. How many innings? 2 kind of highs this year. April 11th, he threw 71 pitches. And then back on May 6th, about 3 weeks ago, he threw 69 pitches.
Well, number 42 is right on by Segura at 100. And that is Spencer's 4th strikeout.
It's power on power. Another one. 100 up in the zone. And the thing about it is he's ahead of these hitters. That's the key to this whole thing. He's ahead of them, so you get him to chase.
I said that earlier. How many times, Jeff, look at the Phillies. How many times have we seen power pitchers come in and they're spraying the fastball all over the place? This guy throws strikes. It has looked terrific. Here's Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber was the first man he faced in the 5th inning and struck him out. In the same way the 5th inning at bat started is how this one starts in the 7th. Something off speed. In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hope you'll stick around with us for the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Brian Jordan's a happy man. He's got to say yah-yah a couple times tonight. They'll be talking about William Contreras and his great production. He is one of the Braves who's homered tonight. 3 of them. Contreras, Austin Riley, the Braves' 3rd baseman, and of course Dansby Swanson, who homered a moment ago. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Spencer Strider in 2 2/3 innings. Unbelievable. Great night in Atlanta. Braves lead at 7-4. Trevor, take it away. It's time for the stretch.
The stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor Scales, Peter Boyle, and Brian Jordan out here kicking it on the Battery at Truist Park. And it is William Contreras' world, and we're all just living in it, baby. Peter, walk-off RBI last night, comes in, get the big 2nd inning cracking with a big fly of his own. He's got the most home runs by any catcher in the majors. He's cashing out.
He just continues to impress me, and it's just, I don't know what you said to him in Miami, BJ, but it's obviously working. He just continues to swing that hot bat, and it's what's the best part for me is that we're not talking about his defense, okay? We're talking about his offense, and he's done it in 3 separate defensive positions. So for me, you've had so much depth, you've got so many options, you've got to put this kid's bat in the lineup the way that he's swinging it right now.
Look, it's about getting out there, getting that opportunity, and having fun, and that's exactly what he's doing. In only 44 at-bats, he got 7 home runs, 11 RBIs. Unbelievable start for him, but the thing about him is this guy is a star in waiting, and the Braves know that. That's why they brought him up, and now they got his bat in the lineup, and he's having fun. Big time. I'm telling you, he's big time, just like his brother.
Without question, yes. And look, not to throw shade, but his brother got 5 home runs and 121 at-bats. But that's neither here nor there. We go get you back to some more Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
Fellas, great job with the stretch. Braves lead 7-4. They've got 9 hits tonight, 3 homers. And they will take aim at a 4th Philadelphia pitcher here in Game 3. It's spindly right-hander Connor Brogdon who is on to pitch. Bellotti went an inning, gave up a run on the Dansby-Swanson home run. And boy, I love the way the Braves offense has approached this Phillies staff again tonight, Jeff. Patient, powerful, hitting the ball the other way, hitting it where it's pitched, and as you said a moment ago, adding on runs.
And taking what they give them. I think that's been the most impressive thing of what they've done. Look, Austin Riley was ready. Alvarado made a mistake. He made him pay. Dansby had a good at-bat, got a pitch out over the plate, shot it to right center for a home run. So you're seeing a whole team approach, and it's been fun to watch. It's kind of what we've expected.
Brogdon's been a reliable reliever for the Phillies, but he faces Riley. Austin Riley's another one of those guys. When you come to the ballpark and the weather's nice, you can get down on the field and watch batting practice, close your eyes and listen to him hit.
Yeah.
Whew. 20 RBIs for Austin, 9 homers now. And this one bounced off the netting to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies will have their 7, 8, 9 hitters in the 8th. Yeah, we got to face Bryce Harper one more time. Preferably with nobody on in the 9th tonight.
That would be nice.
Colin McHugh is on the left. A.J. Minter is on the right. We'll see who Snit chooses after the Braves are done here in the 7th.
I would think if it goes 7-4, you're going to see Minter come in the bottom of the 8th, and if they score a run or 2, you might see Colin McHugh come in.
Good changeup, and an even count for Austin Riley. Just past 10 o'clock in the East. Rainy day in Atlanta. Skies cleared about 35 minutes before scheduled first pitch. We've had no interruption, no bad weather. Very comfortable night. Knock on wood as Riley is down on strikes. That's how the home 7th starts. And 1 man down. Here's Matt Olson. He's reached base 2 more times in the game tonight with a walk and a 5th inning single. That single, Jeff, against Alvarado, the hard-throwing Phillies lefty.
6 or 7 pitch at bat. Fouled some tough pitches off, took some sinkers in, and was able to get a big hit.
There's a lot to like about Matt Olson. What I love is this guy's work ethic. He knows how things have gone for him the last couple of weeks. Before the game yesterday, Kelly reported this. On a hot day, he's down on the field a good hour and a half, 2 hours before the Braves were scheduled to have batting practice, and they had the pitching machines ramped up, and he just kept taking swing after swing. I don't know how many buckets of baseballs he went through down there.
Well, see, the whole thing sometimes is everybody talks about, you know, it's a long season. Yeah, you're not going to do that every week. You're not going to do it every, you know, time you get in a small slump. You go back when everybody's in the minor leagues, you had early work every day. You were out there, whether it's defense, base running, extra hitting. And sometimes it's good to be able to do that up here. I think back to when Andrew and the outfield, we used to throw the bases twice a week. Pretty much once every city we went to on the road. You know, you throw 2 to second, 2 to third, 2 to home, and it's enough to just keep you, you know, good at your craft.
Plus getting used to the angles, the new ballpark, the sight lines, all that.
In the outfield, you can go good fastball. Outfield, you can go 3 days without throwing a ball hard to try to throw somebody out. If you think about it.
That's certainly a way that the game has changed. You used to see it all the time in the quote-unquote old days. On Sundays or Saturday day games, teams would take infield at the major league level, right?
Yeah, and I think still to that extent, you'll see guys come out and do early work now,
but not as an entire 9 or 10 man group. But that was one of my favorite things as a kid to watch. As Contreras comes up again, homer and a walk for him. Watching a big league coach hit fungos and use that bat like a magic wand, and then when infield was over, hit the pop up to the catcher. Jim Beecham, the late great Braves instructor, was so good at that. Bobby Dews too, and we miss them. That's low in the strike zone. It's even 1-1.
Beach was the first guy I met in my first game ever in Danville, Virginia. Now I got to go to the Appalachian League, Chip. And I threw a ball away trying to make a play, and I came in. He said, if you ever do that again, son, you'll be in the hot Gulf Coast League in about 12 hours. He was.
Two balls and a strike. Well, that's part of the great history of the Braves organization. Fantastic instructors up and down the minor league system, and here at the major league level. There's no better teacher than Ron Washington. As this one's off the netting foul. Heck, Brian Snitker's entire staff, what a luxury it is. You have Ron Washington, a former major league manager. Walt Weiss, former major league manager. Rick Kranitz has been a pitching coach with numerous organizations.
I've been lucky to keep this coaching staff the last 4 or 5 years here.
Kevin Seitzer, terrific hitting coach, several stops in the majors. They're a big part of the mix too. The pitch is inside, full count for William Contreras. You can see how carefully the Phillies are pitching him. He's hot.
Yep.
(3-2) is off the plate. Good eye Contreras didn't chase it, and he's aboard for a third time in the game, second time via base on balls. He's Jeff not just going up there hacking away.
No, I mean, this kid keeps impressing. Why that happens, you're going to see a few more DHs, a few more opportunities for him.
Sometimes the first step for a hitter to get hot with base hits is to take a few walks. Adam Duvall has done that twice tonight and has scored once. In fact, Adam 3 walks in his last 2 games. Let's see if he can put a hurting on the Phillies. The Braves have a 3-run lead. That's low. Ball 1. Yeah, the bittersweet part of the Braves coaching staff in this regard is this. There's so many worthy candidates to be major league managers, and I would imagine at some point that's going to happen. Sure, Walt Weiss would love another shot. Well, Washington too. I think Eric Young would be a great manager. Eddie Perez.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys in there, a lot of experience.
1 ball, no strikes. Hammered down the left field line and into the seats. Fan from Kibbe, Georgia, made that play.
This guy up to bat's kind of the last piece of the puzzle, you know, for this offense to fully get going. Adam Duvall. We've seen signs of, to me, better ABs. You just hope that everybody else starts hitting, it gets contagious, and it'll finish with him. 38 home runs last year.
1-1 pitch. 1-2.
Think about it. He was mostly 6th, 7th in that lineup. So, you know, Dansby was what, 8th in the lineup with 20-something home runs last year. So
yeah, he was the only guy that didn't get to 30, and that's no criticism.
That's how you win down the stretch. You have a lineup from 1 through 9. You can leave the park at any time.
Well, it's certainly getting there, at least the last 3-4 games. And as we said, dating back to the series in Milwaukee, much more consistent contact at the plate. That's not to say there won't be strikeouts. There will be. But it's when it happens. It hasn't been happening a lot with men on base and in scoring position for the Braves of late. And it's been fun to watch. The pitch. Line drive to center field for Adam Duvall. Didn't hit it hard, didn't have to. Contreras on his way to third. He'll slide in safely. Adam Duvall has his first hit of the game. And for the third straight game, Jeff, Atlanta's offense has 10 hits.
Look at this change up low. Kind of cues it off the end of the bat. But I think hopefully the more you get those kind of hits like that, the more it gives you confidence. Look at the whole right side he has. And good job by Contreras getting to third, forcing the issue.
Well, Arcia, the tough luck hitter for the Braves in his last at bat, bases loaded against Alvarado. He hit an absolute missile to the left side of the infield that the Phillies were able to turn into a double play. But Orlando has doubled and scored. He's also walked. He's licking his chops with 2 outs.
And it's so interesting this year with the DH. You know, last year, if you had no DH this year, you know, he's a prime example of a guy that would get a bat every night. A pinch hit. Good chance. Now he's not, but he's still being able to be productive.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 on, 2 out. That's something you talked about on Braves Live. How has the DH impacted the Braves offense? Well, it's given Ronald Acuna Jr. a chance to rehab on the fly at the major league level. And it's given guys like Arcia opportunities to come up big. And it's given Contreras a chance to stay in the lineup because he's hot. So if ever there was a year for it to be implemented full time, this is it for Atlanta. And they've taken pretty good advantage of it. Lots of smiles on the Braves dugout bench. First time all year they've had 10 hits in 3 straight games. They lead 7-4, 2 balls and a strike. Oh, what a cut. Connor Brogdon's had to throw 24 pitches. All of that might be important in the game tomorrow. Who's available, who's not in the respective bullpens. Swing, line drive, that's a gapper. It's 8-4. Duvall around second on his way to third. Herrera cuts it off. Arcia on his way to second. He'll belly flop in with another 2-out hit for Atlanta. Braves are having some fun tonight.
Yeah, what does this inning go back with? Start off 2 strikeouts. As you see, this was a pitch, just 95 center cut. Arcia drops a bat head right on it and smokes in the left field gap. How many times have we seen a 2-out walk come around to hurt you? And this is what we're talking about, tacking on the runs.
I've got 5 2-out runs for the Braves in the game, 5 of their 8. So an RBI double for Arcia. He's got 2 doubles in the game. He's doubled his double total. He's now up to 4.
I mean, thing is, though, you got to bench him for the next 7-8 games to let him get ready again. It really is unbelievable.
Let him recharge the batteries.
Recharge the bat.
1 ball, no strikes. NBA fans might remember a guy that used to play for the Bad Boys, the Detroit Pistons, Vinnie Johnson. They called him the microwave. He'd come in as the 6th man, pick up 10, 12, 15 points in a game, and almost never got to play. That's kind of what Arcia is, the microwave.
You know, I was here I think about a year after Eli Marrero, remember, was here.
Yeah.
He had to catch like 3 out of 4 games or something, and they wanted him to do it again. And he told Bobby, I don't get paid enough to do this.
Bench me or trade me?
Yeah. You know, playing way too much.
Well, let's see if this man can get in on the hitting fun. Travis Demeritte, he's in a tough spot. Pitch. It's not to be. He's down on strikes, and that retires the side. A 2-out walk, a single, and a double, and the Braves have doubled up the Phillies after 7. It's 8-4 Braves. Well, there's been a lot of fun for the Braves in their dugout in Game 3. That's our T-Mobile coverage cam. Contreras hits a home run. At the sword slashing. Dansby Swanson's hit a home run. He gets a hug and a pat on the back. Austin Riley with a mammoth shot. He and Ozuna celebrate that. And for the 3rd straight game, Jeff, Braves have double-digit hits.
Yeah, it's great team approach the last 3 nights.
So as you suggested, with a bigger lead, it's Colin McHugh. He'll face the lower third for the Phillies. Colin McHugh has gotten some huge outs for the Braves. And the first pitch to JT Realmuto is poked into right field for a leadoff single. Phillies need base runners. Realmuto now 4 for 9 in the series.
Starting to see his bat heat up a little bit. You see him more on time. Look at that leg kick. So they try to get him to kind of go away from that leg kick this year, he was telling me, and he said, you know, I've always been aggressive, always had, you know, it reminds me of Ozzie. You know, sometimes you think, man, if he didn't have that high leg kick, maybe he'd be more under control. It's who he is. It's how he swings.
So here's a double Herrera. He's had a big offensive night. A defensive mistake cost the Phillies a run and the lead. And McHugh gets ahead of him. Strike 1. Think about the bases loaded situation Colin McHugh got the Braves out of in New York with the strikeout of Mark Canha. Got a big flyout, I believe it was, in Miami with the Braves hanging on against the Marlins.
Friday night.
Look at that ball dart in and on the hands of Herrera. 0-2.
Well, and I think honestly this is a good guy to me to bring in after Spencer Strider. Chip, you had Strider throwing 100 miles per hour. Now all of a sudden you got a guy that's going to sink and cut it at 87, 88.
Oh, 2 pitch. The other thing too, we always get wrapped up on what guys do between the lines. Look, their performance, their ERA, how many runs they give up, how many strikeouts they have. You can never have too many experienced guys in a major league bullpen. And Colin McHugh has been around the major leagues for a long time as a starter, as a relief pitcher. And so, Kelly, he serves not only a role as getting important outs in games like this, but also a mentor, does he not?
Absolutely, and he's a guy who told me actually back in the Milwaukee series that Spencer Strider is one of those guys he talks to almost daily, just about how he's doing, how he's feeling, his mindset going into outings, because expectations are a big deal, especially when you're younger in your career. And he goes, I've been that guy, like you said, Chip, that's a starter turned a reliever. We kind of walk through maybe situations he could see himself in a game or throughout a series, and I get the impression that Spencer's just done a really good job ingratiating himself in that bullpen, letting him, all these guys know, right, he's ready for any role, anytime.
Well, that role, Kelly's going to keep expanding the way through
exactly.
tonight.
But that's got to be hard too, Jeff, because when you guys came up in 05, you guys were enormously talented, but you came to a veteran team that needed some help. There's the old saying, when you walk into a locker room, you have one mouth and 2 ears, use them in the right proportion. How do you put your talent aside and understand that you've got a role to play as a young player?
Well, I think for Spencer, look, he's got something that very few people. God gifted him a right arm that can throw 100 miles per hour, and you know there's not many people that can do that. So I think for him, why not take a guy like Colin, other guys that have been through the mental grind of the season, and it can only make you better. Take that and add it all up, and I'll tell you what, you got something special.
That just missed a corner to Bryson Stott. And look, there will be some tough times, as there are for every player. And how you deal with those, Jeff, we all know in life that's more difficult than dealing with the successes, obviously. And having guys like Will Smith and Kenley Jansen and Colin McHugh, a big help. Not to mention, they're all real good players. You know, it's one thing to have a guy that's a veteran who's on the last legs, but these guys still have plenty of mileage left in their arms. As McHugh works in the 8th, protecting a 4-run lead. Bryson Stott, in his debut against Atlanta, his 11th major league game, is hitless tonight. And that one is in the air to Demerit. Well struck, but Travis to his right handles that, and Stott is out number 2. Here's Rhys Hoskins. Charlie Morton started for the Braves. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 4 1/3 innings through 90 pitches. Spencer Strider, 2 2/3 innings, hitless ball, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. McHugh now 2 outs in the 8th inning. Ranger Suarez, 5 runs and 4 1/3. Alvarado, a run. Bellotti, a run. Connor Brogdon, a run. Braves kept adding on after the Phillies tied this game. And a check swing for Hoskins has him behind in the count. Rhys tonight 0 for 3 with a walk. This guy's a good player, good hitter, but a unique leadoff man.
Yeah.
Not a high on base percentage guy, but he will walk. Let's see how that works out. Braves trying to pick up a game on the Mets, get to within 2 games of 500. They lead by 4 late. They've got 4 more outs to get. And the pitch is lofted off to our right. Hey, great catch. Front row of the 3rd deck. And fans from Cumming, Georgia.
Hey. That's our golf pro at River Club, Alex. He's not from Cumming. He's from Swanee, guys.
He is?
Yes, he is.
Oh, man, he's sitting in the, well, he's sitting in the Cumming, Georgia section. 1 ball. Really?
Took him down on the course today, so he's a little bitter.
That was tipped and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Only you with Noah Fan in the 8th inning of a game catching a pop fly.
You met him. He's the one that I took out on center field. Remember, he got engaged here at the stadium about a month and a half ago. And now he caught a foul ball. Good for him.
One ball, 2 strikes. And high for Rhys Hoskins. Yeah, we got to get the guys from Duluth to sit in their own section. They can't be sitting in the Cumming, Georgia section.
Swanee.
Swanee. Beg your pardon. They can't sit there. It messes up all the preparation.
Sorry for that.
We'll have to have a chat with that young man after the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's an 8-4 score. The pitch. Alec Bohm waits on deck. You don't want to mess around too much. You don't want this to go past Alec Bohm with a 4-run lead. And if you're going to face Bryce Harper, you'd much rather face him with nobody on base. He's in the hole. The pitch. Runner goes. Swing. Ground ball. Foul. And Hoskins will try again. After the Braves wrap up this series with the Phillies, we will entertain the Marlins. We will then become big Phillies fans. They go to New York for 3 games. And a look at the Mets. Phillies are 2-4 against New York.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Take that back. They are 3-6 already against the Mets. That'll be the 4th series before the first 2 months is over, if I read that correctly. Pop fly left by Hoskins. Ozuna will gather this one in, and Colin McHugh does a terrific job to preserve a 4-run lead. Happy night in Atlanta. A somber start to our night in honor and memory of those who lost their lives yesterday at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Flags flying at half staff all across the United States until sunset Saturday, May 28th. If you're interested in supporting those who suffered so greatly in the Lone Star State, we invite you to donate at braves.com/give. In fact, the proceeds of the 50-50 raffle from tonight's game will be going to Uvalde, Texas, and all of our thoughts and prayers are with those in Uvalde, Texas tonight.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Braves bats booming tonight. They lead 8-4. 3 homers tonight among their 11 hits. They've hit homers off of Ranger Suarez, Alvarado. They've hit one off Bellotti. And they wouldn't mind hitting one off James Norwood, who's on in back-to-back outings. James had a rough night last night. Did not retire a batter. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, and yes, a home run.
36 hits now for the Braves in these 3 games. We talked to Chip about how we had some, big innings, and then the Braves bats kind of would die. Talk about tack-on runs. 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and it's really separated themselves from the Phillies now and put them in a hole.
That's cut on and missed by Ozzie Albies, starting in the leadoff spot for the Braves tonight. 1 for 5 is he with 2 RBIs. Dansby Swanson's had a good night. We'll break that down for you after a message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Dansby Swanson hitting second. 3 hits, 2 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs. He is hot right now. And it continues. A bullet to left.
Remember last year for about 2 months, he really struggled, really scuffled. His strikeouts were way up as he gets a backup slider. And all of a sudden we looked up at the All-Star break and he was hitting about 270. Same thing here now. He's already up to 267, 268.
Well, last August, Dansby got smoking hot. 2 separate 7-game hit streaks in August. One of the reasons why the Braves pulled away in the East. It's his 3rd career 4-hit game tonight. Now an 8-game hitting streak. And Ozuna will try to add on for Atlanta. Nobody up in the Braves bullpen. We got Bohm, Harper, and Castellanos. The Braves lead by 4.
Think about Dansby's night. 2 base hits to right field, 1 for the RBI, opposite field home run to right field, and then that pitch right there backs up to the inner part of the plate and just pulls his hands in. And that's when you're going good.
Look, it's hard to hit, right? It's really hard to hit in the major leagues. But I would think hitting the ball the other way sets you up for what you want to do, which is turn and pull the ball with authority.
For sure. And look, you're not always going to be able to do it.
Of course
you're
not.
going to go through tough times. But when you see what I think we've seen from him now the last 3-4 weeks, a conscious effort to have that approach there and stick with it. He's so talented. And I think what that does too, it gets you out of those prolonged slumps. Something we saw Freddie Freeman do so well here for so long in Atlanta was go the other way. When you're not feeling good, just take a walk, take a base hit the other way. And you're starting to see him do that.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And in the dirt. Eight runs on 12 hits. And that one skied out of play. Did your fan catch that one too?
Nah, a little right of him.
Okay.
And he had just moved from coming. So
yeah,
you were right.
I mean,
he moved about a month ago. Be closer to the golf course, you know.
Makes sense. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off to our right, and
a lot of action up there.
Heck yeah. We've had fans all across the great state of Georgia catching foul balls tonight. Ozuna bounces that one out of play. A fan from Tennell, Georgia, Kibbe, Swainsboro.
Coming now, Swanee.
I'm going to say it's coming because he sat in the coming section. There's just no way we can let that happen. 2 balls, 2 strikes in the Braves 8th. And a good take for Marcel. It's a full count. Giants beat the Mets 9-3. Washington beat the Dodgers 1-0. Brewers over the Padres 2-1. Reds beat the Cubs 4-3. Pittsburgh 10-5 over the Rockies. We will see Colorado on our next road trip. They got bad news. Chris Bryant back on the injured list. Pitch. Runner goes. Out of play, foul. Miami in this weekend. Then we head to Colorado and Arizona. In reverse order, first series with the Diamondbacks, then 4 with the Rockies. At Coors Field. "13 pitches for Norwood. The next on the way is caught on and missed. Marcel expanded his strike zone, and that's the second strikeout for the Phillies reliever James Norwood in the Braves 8th. Fans Minority Baseball Prospects is excited to host the 2022 MVP HBCU All-Star Game presented by the Hank Aaron Lewis Fund at Truist Park June 2nd and 3rd. The week of programming includes a home run derby on June 2nd and a full-out showcase game on June the 3rd. To learn more about the event and buy tickets, go to braves.com/HBCUAllStarGame.com. Austin Riley, a 1-for-3 night, a mammoth home run. And I mean mammoth. It went a long way on a muggy night. Riley now 9 homers, 20 RBIs here in game 44 of the season. He's on pace for a 30-plus homer campaign for the Braves. Up and away. Norwood's throwing hard. He's just not throwing enough strikes. And when he does throw one, it's getting hit. That happened to him last night. He's given up a knock here in the 8th inning, but a low leverage spot for the young Phillies pitcher, and that one's golfed into right center field. A base hit. 13 hits for Atlanta. Dansby's going to turn and burn and go first to third. That's something else, Jeff, we have not talked about at all this year. When the Braves offense is really going, they're a good base running team too.
Well, Austin Riley now home run to left field. Stays tall, drops a bat head. In the last 3 games, he has been absolutely on fire. Another first to third, like you said, for this offense.
They're relentless right now.
Let's see if Matt can pick up another hit. He's got a 5th inning single. Matt couldn't stop himself, even count. Oh, look out, Matt. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch. Lifted to the left. That is curling into the seats, foul. Phillies have to pause a moment and get their defense aligned the way they want. We've got a rookie shortstop, and it's Alec Bohm who's going to move over. Now he and Segura will trade places. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good cut. Turned that one loose. The 2-2. Good rip. Again, each one of these pitches for Matt Olson. He's getting better and better looks, better and better swings. Maybe he's going to find some rhythm here. And that will retire the side. 8-4 after 8 in Atlanta. We need 3 outs to take a lead in the series. 8-4 after 8. Braves try to take command of this series, and hopefully if they win tonight and can win tomorrow, they'll win the series outright. Good matchup for Game 4. Jeff, that's our ultra strong stats brought to us by Charmin.
Yeah, 2 great pitchers going tomorrow. Right, 5 starts at home, 3-1 with a 2-4. Nola this year on the road has scuffled 0-3 with a 4.18. Hopefully, with 3 outs, Braves have a chance to take 3 of 4.
So Colin McHugh back to work in the 9th inning. He worked a scoreless 8th, allowing just a hit. 1 defensive change. Guillermo Heredia checks in to play left field. Bohm, Harper, Castellanos is the trio up for the Phillies. Phillies got to 4 runs on the road again. That's 12 straight games that they've done that. But if this score holds, they'll fall to 7-5 in those 12 games. Phillies led briefly 1-0. Braves got 4 in the 2nd. Philly tied it in the 5th. The Braves have scored the last 4 runs unanswered. Here in Game 3. So things looking up, things trending in the right direction for Atlanta, which could pick up another game on the first place Mets, or defeated out west and fly home, I believe. The pitch. Little pop into right. Demerit is there, and Travis puts that in his back pocket. Soft contact, and the best Bryce Harper can do is make it a 3-run game. Jeff, this is exactly how you want to face him.
Absolutely. Good job by Colin. The thing that's so nice when you have guys that can throw multiple innings like this, all of a sudden you have not used Smith, Mentor, or Jansen tonight, hopefully with 2 more outs. What that does allow you, if you get in a pinch tomorrow night, Chip, and you need that gauntlet, they'll be available and rested.
Bryce Harper is 0 for 1 with 2 walks against Colin McHugh. And he jumps on the first pitch, drives it toward Heredia. Good jump, leaps and can't make the play. Bryce Harper is on his way to second. Not sure what happened to Guillermo in the left field corner. Not sure if he needed to jump. Ball was hit hard and tailing away from him, but Harper reaches with 1 out. And that's a double. Harper has reached now in 7 of his last 8 at-bats in the series.
He just mistimed it. I agree. Instead of jumping, if he would have just kept running, I don't know if he got a little confused thinking the wall was right there.
So a double for Harper, 2 of those tonight with 2 singles, and Castellanos the batter. A little extra stress for McHugh, but he still leads by 4. And Nicholas didn't get that. Castellanos is 1 for 13 in this series, but does have an RBI. Braves Live is coming up next. It's presented by Xfinity. Trevor, Peter, and BJ have a lot of good things to talk about in this game. Bigger picture, if the Braves can get 2 more outs, Jeff, Atlanta will go 4-2 in this stretch of 29 straight games against losing opponents. As we said at the time, if there's a time for the Braves to make a move, this is it.
Well, you gotta love how the offense is starting to heat up, because we're used to seeing more games like this.
Right. It's been a fun one to call. The pitch is on the ground to third. Riley will handle that worm burner, and the Phillies are down to their last out.
You know, we hang on, win this ball game here. As much as you know me and I love offense, Spencer Strider tonight I thought was huge. Coming in the middle of the game like that, in the top of the 5th, getting out of that inning to keep the score at 4-4, and then holding it there as the Braves tacked on.
So Gene Segura stands in the way. 2 more hits for him. A run and an RBI as well. McHugh with 2 outs. Harper at second. And on the ground, Dansby's got that. First pitch roller, and that's your ball game. Braves with 8 runs on 13 hits. Jeff scored early and kept adding on. The Braves pitching terrific. And as you said, especially Spencer Strider.
Yeah. 38 hits now in the last 3 games. Offense coming alive, getting production from everywhere in the lineup. Charlie Morton, you know, not as sharp as we've seen him in the past, but Strider, McHugh, great job covering 4 2/3 for that bullpen, giving the rest of the guys a rest. And offensively, boy, there's some good signs coming in right now.
Spencer Strider the winner. He's 1-1. Ranger Suarez takes the loss. He's 4-3. Braves pick up the game on the Mets. They're now 7 back and have a chance to win the series outright tomorrow night with Kyle Wright on the mound against Phillies right-hander Aaron Nola. Partner, enjoy this one. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
For Jeff and Kelly, I'm Chip. Stick around. That was well said. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, is coming up next.